Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Stamford Bridge, where since just last week, or well, preceding week, I think, so it was away, we talked about how Germany was heading towards population collapse, and since just bullying the Germans every week, albeit fun, gets repetitive, I figured today we'd watch a video on how the government is planning to fix the hole that it has dug for itself.
Oh, before we do, can I shill something?
Go on.
So I've got a buddy on Twitter called Kevin Deanna, and he runs a podcast called Grim Dark Enlightenment, and it's a 40k podcast that is expressly from the right-wing position. And I was on it yesterday, and it was a banger, if I do say so myself. But basically, go on Twitter or Spotify or wherever and look up Grim Dark Enlightenment, and you'll find it, and you can watch my episode. And I'm really pleased with it.
There you go, chat. Grim Dark Enlightenment. I think it's this thing here over on Twitter.
Yeah. If you can put a link in the description or something, that'd be amazing. Just to help those guys out because they're doing a great job, and they're based and cool. So
absolutely. So this will be not from Germany, but from Korea. But I expect. Both being liberal democracies, etc., and frankly, the South Korean model's not too different from the German one at this point.
Yeah.
Whatever plans they're coming up with, because surely the government obviously knows that things are going the wrong way, so...
Can't they just import 1 million Bomalians?
I'm sure that's probably one of the ideas they're going to present us with.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I would not be surprised.
Korea. Don't do it. Trust me.
Although, as a quick little mention as well, I considered doing today's episode on the Henry Nowak situation, as that has been going on, but frankly, talking about that on YouTube, I'm a little nervous.
Well, we haven't had any problems with it so far, so I don't think you should be too nervous about it. I mean, we showed like half of the body cam footage before he had actually passed away, but when he was on the floor, and we didn't get in any trouble. So,
oh, brave.
Yeah, I know. I knew I was taking a risk, but like, we don't appear to have gotten any trouble for it. So,
as that situation is rapidly escalating as well, with even Starmer now visibly being worried about what's going on.
Well, as he fucking should be, because it's mad. But anyway, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about. I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about that "No Peace Amongst the Stars" video. To be honest, I expected you to want to do that.
No Peace Amongst the Stars. I don't think I've heard about it.
What? Okay, look, South Korea can wait. Just go. Just put into YouTube "No Peace Amongst the Stars."
Oh, the new little 40k short thingy.
Yeah. There's some stuff in there that I think you should know about.
I have GW stuff. I look at it now with the deepest skepticism.
Well, I agree, but it's more about like chronicling the decline of Games Workshop. But I'm surprised you haven't wanted to. I mean, we don't have to if you've got no interest, but like.
Maybe. It's not very long, is it?
No, it's like 3 minutes long, something like
that. Maybe we can do that as a warm-up.
Go on.
And I'd also like
South
to just point
Korea
out after this...
It's pretty predictable too. Go on.
That Rupert Lowe also put out a post saying, I do not want to see patrons thrown in prison because they had a beer or two, got fired up and acted stupid in the heat of the moment. The state will make an example of you. They will show you no mercy. Your life will be ruined. Do not attack the police. Be smart. Stay calm. This is very valuable advice right now to anyone in Britain.
Absolutely correct advice. Obviously, do not go fight the police.
Yes, you are not a first-class citizen. You will be thrown in jail. Your life will be ruined. Don't do it.
Yeah, you get your life ruined over a fucking tweet. Don't go and do anything stupid. We're gonna win, and we're gonna win democratically. I mean, we've got Rupert Lowe, and they don't. So don't worry. Just keep your powder dry and go post leaflets through doors.
Yes,
we're gonna win.
with the public service announcement out of the way, then let's do the warm up, shall we?
Yeah.
Now, I did watch clips of this, and I will say, like, as much as Warhammer TV is evidently not doing well economically, the building of an in-house animation team, or, well, this is probably... It's a bit hard to see from the style, but this might be something they farmed out to Sima Liu, the Starties guy.
Nah, I don't think it is. Like that guy has got a very particular style in the way that his characters move, and these characters do not move with that sort of grace and fluidity.
True. But the building of an in-house animation team does have its advantages, I will say.
Well, it's one of those things you'd be like, well, Games Workshop, you've been a big company for a number of years now. Why didn't you do this sooner?
Well, they did try. Remember the Ultramarines movie?
Yeah, but that was farmed out to some third party.
Yeah, but, I mean, GW, they haven't really started earning proper big bucks before basically COVID, so I can see why.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries.
Also, technically, it's the 42nd millennium now.
Oh, God. Shut up, fucking nerd.
That's just... listen, GW chose to advance the storyline.
Actually, all right, put your fedora back on, Jesus.
They chose to advance the storyline out of the 41st millennium, and they're still using the sound bit. Like... I know the 42nd millennium sounds shit in comparison, but I didn't make this fucking decision, now did I?
To be honest with you, that is actually a fair criticism. And one thing that you want to pay attention to throughout this is the voiceover, where you can hear like the old writing style versus the new writing style. I'll point it out afterwards, but listen out for it as you go.
The Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth.
Okay. Right away, I'm going to have to actually, yet again, they don't call it Earth.
No, they call it Terra, but never mind.
Yeah, but it's one of those tiny things that just speaks to the lack of attention to detail. They don't call it Earth. Earth is a word with no meaning to anyone in the 41st millennium. It's Terra.
Yeah, and again, you can tell that this, like that's like one of the new interns that's written this.
Yes,
you know, like the old sort of writing style. On the Grimdark podcast, I was like, look, basically, this has got two voices. This overview, right? It's got the Conan E. Howard, the Robert E. Howard Conan style of the old 40k, where everything's fucking epic and based. And then you've got basically kind of like the Reddit atheist voice style that comes through in the writing, and it's really jarring. And it is really obvious where they've just lifted the old style of writing and slapped it between the Reddit style. Listen out for it as you go along. Seriously, it's really bad.
Yeah. Wow, a hammer.
He is the master of mankind in the war between gods.
Old style?
Sort of, but it's also an interesting mention there. War between gods.
Yes. Yeah, the Emperor seems to be getting an upgrade here, doesn't he?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure the original mention is, it's against the gods, not between the gods.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Imperial Truth and all that.
Yeah.
And master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies.
I do like that shot, though. That is a pretty shot.
Yep. And that line's fine.
Yeah.
Master is a very good way of framing him. He is, of course, We all hail the God Emperor. And, that's fine. Again, very Rob E. Howard, Conan-esque. That's fine. Keep going.
He is the carrion lord of the Imperium.
Okay, Carrion Lord. Now we're beginning to speak like chaos again.
Now we're in the Reddit atheist, chaos-loving fucking voice.
Yes,
Where does
because
that come from?
this is literally this is the chaos position, literally, the carrion lord.
Sorry, why are we calling our fucking emperor the carrion lord, you fucks?
And I did like the earlier flash of the Emperor, which kind of harkens back to the older school representations of him.
Yep.
But again, like, he's not the carrion lord of the Empire.
No.
That is the chaos position.
Yeah, you would never describe the emperor as the carrion lord. What are you doing?
1,000 souls are sacrificed every day, so his may continue to burn.
Right,
And
okay, pause it.
why?
Right. But hang on. Right. Why? What is he running the fucking NHS? What is he running an abortion clinic? Are we making judgments about sacrificing souls so others can continue, are we? That's literally our entire fucking problem with reproduction at this point. In Britain, we abort 300,000 babies a year. Like that's more than 1,000 a day, actually. Well, it's almost 1,000 a day.
Yeah, and I do love that we frame this as if this will
That's
allow
bad.
him to continue to live. Like, yes, but the reason why he needs to continue to live is because if he doesn't, the universe ends.
For us, anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's not trivial or inconsequential. It's not so he can go out and party or something.
No, it's not about greed or eternity or his own life. It is about literally everyone's lives.
Exactly.
Are you ready?
But another thing there as well, right? So they sacrifice their lives so he can continue to burn. Have you ever heard that before?
No, it makes a certain
Right.
amount of sense considering, that he suffers eternally, but
That's interesting because, like, really, up until now, it wasn't entirely clear if the Emperor was alive or dead, right?
Mhm.
And so, right, okay, the Emperor, essentially, this is confirming he is alive and he is suffering for our survival.
yes.
Okay, well, if you're going to say, oh, he's the carrion lord of the dying Imperium or whatever, well, you just turned him into Space Jesus.
As he is supposed to be.
Well, I don't know if he ever was supposed to actually be Space Jesus, right? And like, there's definitely previously a way of representing the Emperor that is not illegitimate, that is Richard Dawkins' New Atheist, right? The Last Church and all that sort of thing. He's not necessarily a good guy, but this is turning him into a good guy.
Possibly.
Well, he's sacrificed himself and he's suffering to keep mankind alive. I mean, what else can you call it?
Well, of course, what he's doing is martyring himself, but I don't know if that line necessarily turns him into it. At least doesn't turn him into anything he wasn't already.
Well, keep watching.
He is a rotting carcass, writhing with power, sustained by forbidden marvels from the dark age of technology.
Okay, writhing, okay, but a bit more of the chaos narrative, but okay, maybe it's just the neutral voice, right?
Well, I mean, it is the chaos narrative, but I think they are trying to affect a neutral voice. But it's like, okay, so he's definitely alive. So that Schrodinger's cat question is over, right? The Emperor's alive and we know it. Okay. That's interesting, actually.
To be alive in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable.
I always kind of
what?
hated that line.
Because it's bollocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old traditional line, but it's a dumb line.
But it's also just not true by the world's own standards.
Yes.
Like I mean, there are worse regimes in Warhammer than the fucking Imperium.
Yes, like this is the old law blurb, the cruelest, most bloody regime imaginable. So, I mean, they're staying true to that, but it is a dumb statement. Because, again, as you say, they're not the cruelest regime, even in their own universe.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not how the law used to represent the Imperium. So in that podcast I was referring to, I went back just through the old codexes. Like in the 2nd edition codex and the 3rd edition and in the Codex of Chaos specifically, in the other editions. Oh no, it's very clear that the Imperium is the good guys and it's the last thing standing between you and getting raped to death, right? And so it's not presented as the cruelest. It's presented as a noble self-sacrifice. That's why everyone, the Space Marines included, have a set of duties and ideals that they adhere to, because they are protecting humanity from inevitable death were they not to do their jobs. It's not that they're trying to be cruel, right? And so this retconning is essentially Warhammer kind of cannibalizing itself, right? It's like younger people are like, oh yeah, 40k so grimdark and bloody, man. It's like, look, man, I can imagine way crueler regimes than the Imperium of Man. I can imagine them. They exist in Warhammer. They've existed in the world that we live in, for fuck's sake. You know, the Imperium is bad by the standards of Star Trek, right? As in, what's the future of humanity going to be like when we're in space? Well, it could be Star Wars, it could be Star Trek, or it could be 40k, and it'd be pretty rough. And yeah, it's pretty rough, but it's not the worst by far. It's easy to imagine a way worse regime than the Imperium, right? And so this is getting essentially fucking Reddit losers who are basically getting high on their own fucking supply, and they're just like photocopy of a photocopy, you know, where it's just like, oh yeah, the thing about 40k, it's grimdark. Oh, that means it's the worst possible thing ever. No, it's not the worst. And actually, it always had this kind of like, so for example, right, you can say whatever you like about Marxism, but it always had a note of optimism in it, right? It always had that, yeah, capitalism's terrible, but we can overthrow it and bring in paradise. You know, we can bring in the brave new world, that all the workers of the world unite and we'll all be free. So whatever you think about like Marx's depressing and dour perspective on things as they are, it always had this sense of optimism in it, right? And that was always how the framing of 40k used to be. Yeah, it's rough, but it's necessary. You know, for us to survive as a species, this is necessary. But thank God we've got the Space Marines. Thank God we've got the Emperor. It's completely like, it's been just completely hollowed out now. So it's just like, oh yeah, it's the grim dark, it's the worst, bro. No, it's the worst for some Star Trek libtard who thinks they'll be standing on the bridge with Captain Kirk, you know, shagging fucking buxom green aliens. Yeah. It's bad compared to that. But if you actually think about the paradigm of Warhammer itself, thank fuck for the Imperium, man. Jesus Christ, it could be so much worse.
Yes. And I also noticed something else from earlier there. To be alive in these times. The original quote is to be a man in these times.
Well, yeah, we can't have that. can't have gender disparities. But yeah, so you can see how basically the people writing this are going to be like the new intake of Reddit atheists, SJW types, who don't understand what it is that made Warhammer actually appealing. Because Warhammer is actually quite a Faustian setting. It's like, no, we can win, right? The Imperium can win. Humanity can prevail. We can conquer. That's baked into it. It's not inevitable that everyone dies in Warhammer, actually. But what it means is you have to self-sacrifice. You have to do your duty. And my God, is there anything that would make a Reddit atheist fucking howl more than telling him he has a duty?
These are the tales of those times.
Oh, I do like this one. This is a reference to an old Eldar painting.
Yes, it's the one reference the Eldar get in this entire thing.
Oh, is that all they get?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, at least it's nice to know they're still there somewhere.
Well, yeah, but this is an old reference to a John Blanche Eldar painting.
Is it John Blanche? It might be, yeah.
It is John Blanche. And the thing is, he died recently. They've said nothing about it on their socials.
Haven't they?
Did he? No, not a word. And it's just like, why wouldn't you? Was John Blanche
Blanche.
based? Did he say something about the direction Warhammer's taking these days?
Oh yeah, he died just the other day. I had no idea.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they commemorate him? Like, it was his second edition box art that made me fucking like, oh yeah, this is awesome. You know, I have to play this.
Absolutely,
Like, I mean,
he defined the look of Warhammer.
God, he fucking did. And they've said nothing to commemorate him. It's like, what is going on?
Forget the power of technology and science. For so much has been forgotten.
Because every edition, there's more technology now. We've got fucking... we've got Cole the Warp Squirrel inventing repulsor tanks and walking fucking Mechanicus robots now.
Yeah, the Primaris Marines.
Yes! We made the
But,
super soldiers.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, what are you talking about? New stuff's being invented all the time.
Yes. And again, this is from the actual like little book intro, and it's like the previous one too. It doesn't fit in the world anymore. That shows you how far the world has gone.
But also, who are they talking to here? Right? Forget the promise of science and technology and progress and all this sort of stuff. So they're speaking directly to the libtards, right? They're trying to prime the libtards to stop attacking them for having a reactionary setting. They're saying, look, oh yeah, no, we know it's bad. Yeah, it's grimdark. Ooh, the fantasy is it's the worst possible thing imaginable. And it's like, okay, you have to say that to sell it to the libtards to stop them from telling you you're a fascist institution. Because if you actually like go back through the old rule books and the old law books, they're completely from the perspective of being within the Imperium, as in the Imperium are unequivocally the good guys. Chaos are literally just defined as evil, the bad guys, the traitors, the heretics, right? And so they've reframed all of this to literally say to the libtards, oh yeah, no, liberalism is right. You're right. Oh, forget all the promise of like progress though. Just, oh no, it's very bad and evil and reactionary here. This is the worst possible. I mean, remember that Imperium, the Imperium are not the good guys statement they put out? They're like, there are no goodies in 40k. That's not how they used to pitch it at all. But now it's like, there are no libtards in 40k is basically what they're telling them. It's amazing.
Possibly, but this is also a very old quote that precedes a lot of this too.
I know.
Forget the promise of progress and understanding.
See, that's new. You hear the red atheist right there?
No, progress and understanding wasn't the word. That's old. I know. I recognize that.
I don't recognize that from anywhere else. But you see what I mean? Like they're deliberately pitching this to the red atheists. That's literally the audience here.
For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
I do like me a little of Imperial Guardsmen. Although I hate the way they represent las guns these days. They give them recoil and shit. No, they're laser weapons. They should just go like
Why would it have recoil? But then look at the way they represent bolters now. They represent bolters just as machine guns.
Yeah.
And have you seen in the artwork how thin the bolters are now?
I have not. Not that I've noticed anyways.
It's really, really weird. Like the bolters are so thin they're almost fucking two-dimensional. They look like they're made of cardboard.
That one's a little bit small. But it might also be in reference to the size of the guy.
No peace amongst the stars. Only an eternity of carnage and slaughter. And the laughter of thirsting gods.
That's an old line right there, right? That's an old line. And that sounds Rob E. Howard, Conan the Barbarian-esque, you know? That's exactly the kind of epic bass line you expect. Let's listen to the next one. It's fucking terrible.
Earth is a big place, and whatever happens, you will not be missed.
Ah, for the love of...
The fucking Warhammer is for everyone. If you don't like it, go, you won't be missed. It's literally a line out of that. Oh, fuck off.
Whatever happens, you will not be missed. Like, no, the universe is a universe of heroes. It is not one of no consequence. The Imperium resists every day. That in and of itself is a justifying act. The fact that the Imperium is still there means that it deserves to be.
Yeah. But rewind that back and watch what happens on the screen.
Whatever happens, you will not be missed.
The Emperor's Eye moves.
Probably. Yeah, well, it might. I hate the new logo. I fucking hate the new logo.
But the Emperor's Eye moves, right? To look at the camera. And the thing is, what that kind of implies that the Emperor's watching. So actually, it's not just this nihilistic, edgy Reddit tard. We're all just on a big rock in the middle of the universe where no one cares. So you're not allowed to be racist. No, the Emperor is actually fucking paying attention. Is the implication of this little bit? And it's like, okay, but you're making the Emperor into a much cooler and gooder person. Like you're actually cementing the Emperor as the good guy without realizing it. You fucking idiots.
Conceivably. I think they're probably just going to bring him back or kill him off at this point.
Oh, they may well, yeah. They may well. And it's going to be fucking embarrassing. But the point is you can feel the, like, how to describe it? Like the self-consumption from within Warhammer at this point. It's like, okay, what's Warhammer? Oh, it's grimdark, it's edgy. Okay, well, we'll just reiterate the same stuff, but put in now the libtardisms, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, it's a big empty universe, you won't be missed. It's like, oh yeah, okay, nihilistic bullshit. Right, okay, got you. That's not what 40k is. 40k is not nihilistic.
40k is not nihilistic. It is, well, it was once upon a time, but we've long since abandoned those days now.
Well, no, 40k was never nothing matters.
Are you ready?
Right?
No, but it definitely was the decline.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it wasn't that there wasn't a decline or anything like that, but things mattered, right? There was a purpose to everything. There's a reason we sacrifice 1,000 psychers a day to keep the Emperor alive. It's for humanity. If we don't do that, we all die. You know, like there's meaning and reason in all of these things. And now it's just like, oh, it's a big universe and no one cares if you die. No, that's not the ethos of Warhammer. That never has been, you fucking Reddit retards.
It's an interesting little trailer, but I want to see what they do with it. My trust in GW is at a very low point.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything good with it. But I think what this shows us is how obviously captured GW has become, as in the people now in charge of making this stuff don't understand Warhammer. They fundamentally do not understand the 40k universe and what was appealing about it, right? Why the Emperor was an important character, why people do what they do, and why it resonated with us for such a long time. They just don't understand any of that. And I think it's because their own moral positions are fucking perverse, frankly. They're like, oh no, not suffering. It's like, suffering is fucking noble, you dolts. You know, you've just turned the Emperor into an actual hero like Jesus. And I know that wasn't your intention, because you're all constantly telling us that there's nothing more monstrous than the Imperium of Man.
Yep. Which is an old line, but it's also just outdated, and it doesn't make sense anymore.
I don't know. It's not that old. It's not that old a line. Because even like 3rd, 4th, and 5th editions, the Imperium was just the good guys. Like, outside of the Imperium was bad. The badness comes from space itself and all these aliens and civilizations and stuff. The Imperium was rough, the Imperium was like grim determination, mankind hanging on in the face of these terrible odds. It wasn't, oh no, the Emperor's oppressing me, bro.
Maybe. I think we might be reading a bit too much into the trailer, honestly.
Nah, I don't think we are. But anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting, to be honest.
There are bits and pieces in there, but a lot of it is the old stuff. The only thing that really irked me was the mention of Earth, which I'm pretty sure it has never been Earth.
Yeah, I don't ever remember it being called Earth.
And there are parts of the old thing, because what annoys me is there are parts of the old intro that just doesn't make sense in the modern day 40k. Again, bloodiest regime imaginable, simply not true anymore.
No.
And the promise of technology.
No, it never was. It never was true.
No, it was a flavor thing.
Yeah, but when it wasn't that long ago that began to be the narrative of it, right? And like if you just think about any we're worse than the Drukhari, are we? Worse than fucking any corn planets or anything, the Eye of Terror or whatever, No, bollocks. There are way worse places in the galaxy than the Imperium.
There are. In fact, the overwhelming majority of them are worse than that.
Well, exactly. So don't give me this, it's the bloodiest regime imaginable. No, it's not. Spurg, it's such shit. It's absolute slop.
We shall see what they do with it. Right, let me do a couple of the comments before we move on to the South Korea one. Freyno on Kick. Hi, Arch and Sargon. Have you heard after 24 hours of the primaries in California, they've only finished counting 124,000 votes?
Why?
No, I have not heard that.
Well, okay, I know why, but come on. It's just so transparent at this point, isn't it? Fucking transparent.
Sing.
But yeah, I hadn't heard that either.
Trump way, cover governor primary results.
Heresy is the question. Fire is the answer.
Okay, I don't see any specific mention of that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
No, wouldn't surprise me either.
As ridiculous as it is. Dizwiz, Korea mentioned. Korea indeed.
Ready to rut this yellow mare
As Loxon, God forbid Brits retaliate if they want to respect the migrants. Yet they have to act like migrants do. Your rights prevent police from arresting their own. Not going to work. See, what you must understand is, and this is a very important thing about the whole Henry Novak situation, is it isn't that the police can't arrest the migrant criminals. It isn't that they couldn't have prevented the grooming gangs. They can. They have the resources. They have the manpower. They have the technology. They have everything they need. And all of that will be applied against you. Those people were protected because of who they were. You are not them.
Yeah. The way I described it on the roundtable we did earlier is think of it genuinely like a colonial police force, right?
Yes.
So a white colonial police force in South Africa under apartheid. Of course, they could arrest a white settler if the white settler does something they deem worthy of being arrested over. But if it comes to an interaction between a black South African and a white settler, then the police are automatically on the white settler's side. Automatically. That's the kind of regime we live under at this point.
Yes. And there is virtually nothing that will help from trying to overthrow that violently. We are not in the age of public unrest anymore. Nothing good will come from it. Raise awareness, be inflammatory on social media by all accounts. Talk about it. But don't go out in the street and attack the police. They will catch you.
Yeah. And there's no need, because even if you went out and did something stupid, okay, well, the law is still against you. It's the law itself that needs to be changed. So until we can change the law, there's no point doing anything criminal. Until that will be called criminal by these laws. There's just no point, because they'll just say, oh look, this criminal broke the law, and there we go. You're not going to get Nelson Mandela. No, that's not going to happen. So just wait it out, and we're going to win. And I tell you what, man, the stuff we're hearing out of Makerfield, like, there's a reason Nigel Farage is tacking to the right so hard at the moment, because apparently Restore are doing bloody well there.
Yes. Marine Alva, no, I don't think you have been, mate. It's going to be the battle meme rallying cry for the rest of the year. Probably, yes.
Oh, yeah, they're never going to live it down.
No, because it was, again, like this. Do not give any excuse to water this down. This is already a massive advantage. The police were demonstrably in the wrong. They probably... Yep. The thing is, too, they've found there's been several people investigating the footage now. They've also come to the conclusion that if Henry Novak had actually been treated as if he had been stabbed, trauma center, kept still, he may very well have lived. But they didn't. Yep. They started jostling him, turning around, putting handcuffs, all of that stuff.
And moreover, if they hadn't yet dragged his hands behind his back and had him sit upright, then he may well have been able to be treated. So, yeah. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Carson Kazmiri, greetings from Colorado, gents. Would like to recommend a video called It's Always Like This Before a Revolution by Ex Libris. It's 40 minutes and ties with several of the videos. It's always like this before a revolution. Okay. I'll take a note of that. Honestly, I've been studying revolutions more recently, and basically, we've already had our revolution. Our revolution has already happened. What we are in now is the middle of the nationalist counterswing against the revolution.
It's literally what I've been telling everyone. That I literally said this on the podcast earlier today, right? It's like, look, wokeism controls all of our institutions. Like, you should see the police in this country, right? The College of Policing, which sets the tone and instructions for the police, is an explicitly, and they say this on their website, anti-racist organization, right?
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh, look, they're putting the woke away. They're not making a big deal out of woke. And it's like, no, woke has won, and they don't need to crusade anymore.
Yes. Again, the revolution has already happened. It wasn't a bloody one because, again, you can't really have that in the modern age. This isn't France in the 1700s.
Yeah. This is a managerial regime. You don't need blood to take it over.
Yes, and after every revolution comes a nationalist counter-surge. That's what we're currently in.
Yeah, we're in the Thermidorian reaction, and it's our job to make it stick.
Stephen Knizek, Warhammer 40k 11th edition has some big reveals. Not only does the God Emperor, Neoth, awaken and become the Chaos God of Order, but two last Primarchs are revealed as Arch and Sargon. I'm still just sitting here waiting for when they announce that one of the Primarchs was female.
No. Arch. It could get way worse than that.
Could it?
Yeah.
Could one of them have transitioned?
Yes, you got it. Yes, one of the Primarchs will be trans, Arch.
God help us all. Professor Loyon, this whole trailer is taken verbatim from RT first edition version of the intro. That's why they used old wording. Go look it up.
It's not verbatim. I looked it up. There are changes. They are subtle.
Friend on kick. Sorry for the confusion. I meant mail-in voting, which there could be millions to go. Homeworld.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, Jesus.
Heresy is the question. Fire is the answer.
Emily Bull, read Novak. The UK political establishment priority to avoiding division is terrible moral cowardice rather than deal with the issues honestly. That altitude exacerbate division by ignoring problems. Oh, yeah, okay, right. So the entire thing about division is obviously nonsense. It's complete and utter transparent bullshit. It is a buzzword. It is the left wing's term of saying shut up and get behind us. That's all it is. The entire policy of mass immigration has never been anything but division.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the whole argument is essentially, if you cause division, then you damage the system that's killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Great, good, yeah. I'm for division then.
Yes, it's obviously idiocy.
Yeah.
Item attackman, 10 minutes late, work meeting, and good afternoon. Good afternoon, welcome, sir.
No acceptance being late, though. No excuse.
Sure.
What kind of Protestant are you?
The Thingu stop content, but you guys should do a stream on Reckless Ben's quest to take back $200,000 worth of stolen Legos. I have heard so much about that now.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, apparently there's some kind of story about $200,000 worth of stolen Legos and police corruption and all kinds of crazy shit.
What?
I've been told a lot about it, but I don't know anything. I haven't seen any videos or anything. Maybe that will be next week.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if it's fun.
Chat, as I mentioned, you can go to the server, the Discord server, and put suggestions in the Arch and Sargon videos there and there. So,
yeah.
let's get going on the Korean issue then, because I am genuinely curious about what the government's solution to its own problem is.
Yeah, what's your plan here, Korea?
This photograph is of an incoming class in a South Korean elementary school. It isn't meant to be a portrait.
Fucking hell, really?
Bloody hell.
Jeez, okay, right.
There just aren't any other students. And
Seriously, though,
this photograph is of an incoming class in a South Korean elementary school.
Seriously?
It's just that one girl.
I guess so. What the fuck? What's the rest of this entire... What do they do with the rest of the building, then?
Except
Just-
government funding? I don't know.
Just close it the fuck down, I guess? Because surely they just have to take this child and put her in other classes, right? They
That's
can't...
so terrible, though.
I mean,
Like, imagine I'm the only child in my entire year.
Yeah, no friends, no acquaintances. You're just gonna sit in a classroom with a teacher?
Yeah, can't even skive. Like, if you're gonna be ill or bunk off classes or something, that requires other students to fucking be there.
It's fucking retarded.
isn't meant to be a portrait. There just aren't any other students. And this is the reality of schools all over the country. In Gangwon province alone, 21 elementary schools held entrance ceremonies with just one child.
What the fuck is the point at that point? Okay. I mean, okay, I don't know how large Korea is. It's probably big, but...
Yeah,
I mean, at least these three, combine them together and have 3 children, I guess?
I mean, I'm sure South Korea is something like 25 million people, something like that. It's not that small.
Gangwon province.
Service guarantees citizenship.
South Korea. Okay, let's see here. Gangwon province. Is there any population? 16,000 square kilometers. Okay, yeah, pretty big. So the 7 cities.
Ready to rut this yellow mare's full of
Holy
buttery
fuck. Okay, hold on. Gangwon province. 1.5 million people on 16,000 square kilometers.
Yeah. One kid in that class.
Fuck.
That is absolutely mad, isn't it?
That is insane. Like that is a lot of 16,000 square kilometers, 1 million people.
I don't think 16,000 square kilometers is actually that big.
Well, no, it is, because like density, 91 square kilometers. The population density is 91 square kilometers.
91 per square kilometer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's not that dense, but...
That's like a 2-hour car drive to the nearest person.
No, it's not that bad.
That's
Not that bad. I don't think it is.
It's pretty bad.
I don't think it's that bad. But anyway, it doesn't matter that much. Like, the fact is, no schools anywhere should have 1 kid per year.
No, that is
Like,
pretty
that's mad.
ridiculous.
Even worse are the 210 elementary schools nationwide that had 0 new first graders in 2026, which is an 81% increase from just 5 years ago.
Fucking hell. It's
Elementary
over.
schools. Holy shit. When you imagine being in a position where you have to have this be a graph, right?
Yeah.
Elementary schools with 0 new first graders.
It's fucking over for Korea, man. Feminism has
Over the past-
destroyed the country.
Yes.
Destroyed it.
decade, more than 4,000 Korean schools have closed permanently. South Korea, a $1.7 trillion economy, is running out of people. 100 Koreans today produce 36 children, 13 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren.
Fucking shit. I mean, I know we talked about this in the Germany video a couple weeks ago, but just seeing the numbers is just...
This is worse than Germany, though. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. 100 Koreans today. So, yeah, no, like in 4 generations, that... I mean, this is a population collapse. This is give up, I guess.
It's over. I mean, is this even something that could be recovered from?
I mean... You'd basically have to. You'd basically have to.
You'd have to Handmaid's Tale the country.
How many? Let's see. How many children can a woman have theoretically?
Well, I mean, theoretically, a fair few, but probably about 8 or 9 at most, if she was just literally having children as often as possible.
A woman can typically, so safely, have 15 pregnancy in her lifetime. So that's if you're just doing nothing but pumping out kids, right?
But I mean, that's unusual.
Yes, that's absurd.
Yeah.
So to even begin to reverse this, I mean, you're going to have to... So 2 parents, you're going to have 2 kids minimum. So you're going to have to aim at 3 to 4 kids for everyone to stand a chance, basically.
But even then, like, is it too late?
Yeah, because even then, how do you pay for those kids? Those kids are going to grow up without a social security net or any kind of a governmental system, pretty much.
Yeah. Have you ever read the book or watched the film Children of Men?
I have not.
Right, it's really interesting. Basically, the world becomes infertile. And no one can have children. And so the final generation of children, I can't remember what the name of the generation is now, but they basically turn into psychos because they're venerated by society. You know, like everyone is older than them. And so everyone, kind of like generation, like Zoomers now, basically, they're kind of mental in a way. And a lot of them, like, I'm not saying the Zoomers turn into psychos, but a lot of these kids in this book turn into total psychos. Because they are like the privileged generation, they're the beautiful ones, you know, like everyone is like, oh, they're the final hope for humanity. And it sends them mental, you know, and that the same sort of thing will happen to these kids, I imagine.
Probably, yes.
Grandchildren. It takes 4 generations for the population to collapse to just 5% of the current population. But here's the thing.
Okay, not technically quite true, but sort of, yes.
4 generations to collapse to 5%.
Yeah, because the previous generations aren't just going to disappear, so that's not quite what's going to happen. But yes, it means that generation basically will be fucked.
Jesus.
Every country with a fertility crisis has a plan.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's like some secret fucking German gene lab or something somewhere.
Yeah. And South Korea's plan had better be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they don't have that much time.
No.
Korea has 6 each.
Okay. Well, that's a good start, I guess.
6 plans, yeah.
With a fatal flaw. So this is how South Korea plans to survive, and whether these plans are actually going to work. So let me show you the first plan, and by far the loudest.
They're going to make women have children, because that seems to be the only plan that's going to work, bro.
Yes. And how do we make women have children?
Abolish women's rights is going to be the only way that it's going to work, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think that's going to be one of the plans.
Yeah, I don't either.
My first wager is going to be bribery, just paying people to have kids. Or not even paying. I bet you it's going to be like fucking tax breaks. Yeah.
Denmark and Hungary style.
We're not going to fuck you quite as hard, so please get to it.
Yeah.
And that is to bribe Korea.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, you knew.
To be fair, that wasn't very hard.
No, it's very predictable. It's the first place you'd go.
Yes.
into reproducing. Since 2006, the Korean government has spent over $270 billion on pro-natalist policies. Baby bonuses, free childcare, tax breaks, fertility treatments, cash transfers per birth scaled up year after year. The problem is that most of this money didn't actually go to births that wouldn't have happened without them. Instead, the Journal of Asian Economics published a study that found that more than 74% of the cash disbursements went to births that would have happened anyway.
Okay, so, I mean, this is going to happen pretty much regardless, yes. But, okay, so 26 new births, okay, it's a start. But honestly, moving up the time of a pregnancy, that in and of itself is a good thing. Because having a child at 20 is very different to having a child at 30, for example.
But the thing is, right, and all of this is going to be like, oh, yeah, that would be nice. But none of it's ever going to address the real issue, right? The real issue is mothers have to have status, and fathers, or if mothers and fathers have to have status in civilization. And until you can gain status and resources from being a mother or father, nothing will change. So basically, single women basically shouldn't be employed in Korea, and men should be constantly and relentlessly hounded. Why haven't you become a father yet? Why haven't you become a father yet? Why aren't you married? Why aren't you married?
Mm-hmm.
The bonus simply shifted the timing of when couples had a kid.
And again, like, that is actually something that is laudable. Like, you want to have people have children earlier because it's easier, it's safer, and they might have more kids. So it's not a complete failure, but I see why they're disappointed.
No, but you are right. I mean, like, getting people to have children younger would be better.
Yes.
Change whether they had one. So why didn't it work? Well, according to the study, Korea is the most expensive country.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The margin between Korea and anywhere else is going to be razor thin, though, isn't it? Like, where I live is really expensive too, bro.
You ignorant slut.
In the world to raise a child at roughly $272,000 to age.
$272,000 to 18, presumably. $272,000. That is a fair bit of cash. But,
18. And the reason isn't what you'd expect. It's Hagwon. Hagwon are private cram schools that run until 10 p.m. 6 days a week from elementary school onward, which seems like the sort of institution rich people would put their gifted and extremely motivated and conscientious child into, but it's not. Instead, it's probably best described as a necessity if you want your child to get anywhere in life. See, almost every adult outcome in Korea is gated by which university you get into.
okay.
Specifically, these three: Seoul National, Korea University, and Yonsei, known collectively as SKY.
Why isn't it gated by being really skillful and getting stuff done?
Well, this is probably due to a feudal tradition, honestly, because Japan is the same thing, where it doesn't really matter how good you are. It depends, like, if somebody can vouch for you. It's almost like a feudal guild system. Like, if you come from this place, you must be good, but if you don't, then you're clearly shit.
I assume that was the case. That's why I said it. But yeah, obviously.
The reason is that SKY graduates run the chaebol, the courts, the senior civil service, and the media.
Oh, worse. It's for the same. It's in group preference. Oh, that's even worse, actually. Yeah, see, because the feudal system can be, you can dodge that by simply, expending acceptance. But if you have a unique clique of the ruling elite, they're not going to want to share their power.
Yep.
If you miss those slots, your career ladder is practically gone. But less than 2% of students actually get into SKY. So fair to say the competition here is brutal. The CSAT, the single 8-hour exam that decides who gets in, rewards drilled pattern recognition on extremely difficult material. The problem is,
hang on, how is it the entire civilization has failed to accommodate for 98% of it?
So, in Korea, like, Asian countries are fascinating in this way. So, like, in Japan, it's very much so kind of guild-esque. If you're within the certain institutions, you're kind of accepted automatically because you come from the correct place, right?
Sure.
In Korea, apparently, it's more like the elite cliques. Now, this makes a degree of sense because you've got to remember, Korea is also one of the oldest, like, feudal states out there, they exited out of feudalism like 100 years after Japan again. They basically didn't become a modern country until after the Second World fucking War.
Yeah.
So,
but what I mean though is, like, regardless of the system you're using, your system has to be able to accommodate for most of the people in your society, right? So regardless of, like, what system you're using, it has to have some kind of settlement for people in society. Whether it's, okay, you might be at the top, but you can do this. You might be at the bottom, but you can do that. And everyone finds a place that they can live and get along, right? But Korea appears to have completely failed at this.
yes, because that would be how you would want to run a society, whereas this simply sounds like they've created a continuation of the noble classes.
Yeah, but even then, okay, yeah, obviously, like 2% of society is the rich and powerful. Okay, fine, that's totally understandable. But why, the rest of society still needs to eat. Like you've okay, you guys are rich and powerful. Now, what's the dispensation for the other 98%?
Little to nothing, I guess. They're just
Apparently.
the serfs.
Apparently, literally nothing.
Also, I love the idea about pattern recognition as well, because this is a thing in Japan as well. A lot of Asian countries don't reward creative thinking or problem solving. It rewards learning the book and then repeating the book.
Yeah, 100%.
Only teaches the standard curriculum. Hagwon teaches that test. So if your kid only goes to public school, their odds of getting in are basically non-existent. Therefore, Hagwon participation is essentially universal. More than 95% of middle school students attend Hagwons. Collectively, these parents are spending $20 billion a year on private tutoring, and because of this, they're choosing not to have a second child simply because they cannot afford another one. So
okay, so you're spending all of your money on one kid for a 2% chance to get a good job.
I mean,
fuck.
Like, this is what I mean, like, I didn't go to an elite university or anything like that, and my income is good because I'm an entrepreneur and I do things myself. Why can't they do the same? Why don't they have a petty bourgeoisie?
Well, that's the question. I mean, I have basically diddly dick education either. I dropped out of fucking college and tried to get into gaming production because I'm like, I want to work in video games, and thank fucking God that the video game crash happened when it happened, because Jesus Christ. But like entrepreneuring, see, that's one of the things as well. This is usually destroyed basically by taxes, because the companies, the private companies, are the first like thing that the government will usually start sluicing money out of. And that means that every generation that passes, you have more regulations, more taxes, more costs, more fees, more employee regulations, contracts, etc. And it becomes harder and harder and harder to earn a profit as you have more and more regulations, until you end up in a situation where we have a lot of this in the West as well, where you have to kind of be dumb to start a company.
Boy, don't I know it.
Yeah. Like, exactly, like...
Believe me, I'm well aware of how bad it is.
Yeah, because even here in Norway, right? So basic income tax is like 24%. But if you're dumb enough to have a company, you have a 30% company tax on top of that. So if you are indeed stupid enough to create wealth, you're doubling your own taxes.
I mean, at least the corporation tax here is only 25%.
That's better.
Yes, it's a very mild improvement over Norway.
Yeah. And this, of course, means that over a long period of time, fewer and fewer people are going to start businesses. I mean, I believe they mentioned this in the Kutzgesagt video we watched last, but basically, if you're employed, you earn only marginally more than if you're like minimum wage, than if you were on benefits. So at that point, okay, why would you work 8 hours a day for €100 extra a month.
It's just impossible to square the circle.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't. It's dumb. You're an idiot.
And so, in this case, the only way to earn a good living is basically go to the correct school and then get entrance into the one established companies or the government and get a job there.
But if you did start a company and it was wildly successful, or at least successful enough that you and a small number of people could make a good living, that you could do all right.
Presumably.
So the math here is simply not adding up. A $10,000 baby bonus is a rounding error next to a $272,000 commitment, which brings us to plan.
Yeah. Basically, the bribe is nice, but it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Got us there.
Oh, and the inner circle for 1,000 idrins. Thank you. It's more than taxes.
It's an idrin?
Status. It's $100 because it's red.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks.
It's more than taxes, it's status. East Asian thinking, you have to be a lawyer, doctor, or engineer, and ideally from a prestigious university. It's not just about the child, it's something for the parents to brag about as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
But I mean, you don't even have a child now. You can't you just brag you got the fucking child, let alone him being a doctor.
Honestly, like... the man with the funny mustache and the communists had a good idea here. Both socialist regimes, international and nationalists, gave medals to women who had like 3 children and stuff.
I think I did a video a while ago. I think Uzbekistan does the same, and they even have like an annual ceremony where like mothers who have had like 4 children or more or something get to go to the presidential palace and have their photo taken with the president and whatnot. And it's just like, and they're the only country on earth that's actually increasing their birth rate. And it's like it's all about status. It's
like,
sure.
Exactly.
It's about
like throw in a little monetary bonus on top of it, but getting that medal, getting that recognition, getting something pretty to hang up in your house is worth a lot.
Yeah. It's genuinely about status, though. I really think so.
Why not just replace all the workers with robots? Look.
Okay, right, okay. So as somebody who is literally doing robotics, okay? Yes.
Somebody who's literally replacing all of our workers.
Like, you should automate whatever you can automate, because if we need our economies to grow, and we do, and if we're getting fewer people, and we do, then yes, automation is absolutely a part of the solution. But it's not the solution. If you run out of fucking people, it doesn't matter how many robots you have.
Yeah, if you run out of people, why are you making anything?
Exactly. Like,
we've got an entirely robotic economy run by robots for robots. Really, you've made robot consumers. Well, we ran out of people to be consumers. So why are we doing anything?
Robots are meant to enhance human efficiency, not fucking replace them. God help me.
Just return to the soil. That's what I say. Return to the Handmaid's Tale.
Look at this. This is a standard coffee shop in Seoul, where the servers are robots. The same goes for this restaurant, and this hotel that has automated room service.
And, like, this shit is fine. Nobody wants to work at a restaurant. You know, unless you're a child and basically doing a summer job.
Well, I mean, working at a restaurant's fine. But there's nothing wrong or ignoble about working at a restaurant.
Ignoble, no, but it's not a desirable form of employment either.
Well, for you, some people like it. Some people do. I'm not saying I understand it, but some people do.
It's like stuff like this. I'm all for automating because it's fine. Like, have the server instead be the person overseeing the robots, because you're still gonna have somebody checking in on them.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You need to have it actually add to the workplace, not simply subtract from it.
Now let me be clear here. These aren't gimmicks. If you go to South Korea, this is what you will see more and more of. South Korea has the highest robot density on Earth. They have around 1,000 industrial robots per 10,000 manufacturing workers. The Korean government is investing billions in humanoid robots. They want to be the global leader in physical AI by 2030. And this—
What? You're going to have to start investing in oppressing women, mate.
Service guarantees citizenship.
It's a more long-term solution.
This makes a lot of sense. If automation is total enough, money loses its meaning. Production
No, I mean, yes, but that's not within a country. Like, yes, if the world is roboticized enough, but otherwise, like, how are you going to get the resources for your robots, your chips, your steel, your metal, your components, your alloys, your manufacturing? No, it doesn't wipe out money. What the fuck?
Isn't robots just communism, Arch?
I mean, if it becomes total enough, but we're a while away from that.
I think we might be, yeah.
will become so cheap that scarcity disappears and the pension question becomes obsolete because nobody needs a pension in an economy of abundance. This
Okay, right. No. Okay. Here's the problem. This is an assumption that skips every single fucking step on the ladder right there. It's literally like, well, if we just replace everybody with robots, we'd be happy.
Arch, Utopia is just around the corner. Shut up.
It's such an idiotic argument because, yes, it's correct in the same way that communism would be fantastic if we just snapped our fingers and everyone was equal. But it's not how it works. How are you going to pay for those robots? How are you going to run them? How are you going to get the electricity to run them? How are you going to pay for the AI data centers? The fucking chips, like, oi.
Yeah, it's definitionally correct by its own terms, but the terms don't map to reality.
Yes.
This is the Silicon Valley vision. Full automated luxury, no more work, a post-scarcity utopia. South Korea is the test case.
See, I told you Utopia. I told you, it's literally they're going for Utopia every fucking time.
Arrives on time because Korea's pension system has to hold together until 2071. The working age population drops 44% by 2067. The abundance economy, if it's coming, has to arrive within those timelines or it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Okay, so you've got 30 years to automate your entire workforce and abolish money. Fucking lofty goals.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, I'm sure you guys can do it.
Then go for it.
And here's what Korea's own data shows. Korea, as we already know, has the highest robot density on Earth, but the productivity gains have gone almost entirely to chaebol shareholders. The automation creates abundance for everyone thesis requires solving a political problem. Who owns these robots?
Well, the people paying for them. That's who. And this is a problem you will never get around because the corporation isn't just going to be like, you want me to give away all of my robots, but I spent money on those.
If it helps, it will be gotten around. It'll just be expropriated at some point.
I saw a wonderful tweet by Bernie Sanders of all people the other day. It's like, we're just going to privatize the AI companies. The trillions. Yeah, that's nice. The trillions of dollars will go to the people. Bernie, the AI companies aren't earning money.
Yeah. They're being propped up by the fucking government, Bernie.
Yes. They're being subsidized by the government, and now you're going to nationalize them so that you have to subsidize them harder. What?
Yeah, they've never made money, Bernie.
Yeah.
You fucking coot.
This isn't about sharing the wealth. This is just simply about taking over more of the burden at that point.
Oh, yeah.
That one, Korea has not even begun to solve. So the question isn't whether robots can theoretically save Korea. The question is whether the politics of robot-driven wealth distribution gets solved in time.
No. That's easy, right? When things get bad enough, people will just do things like appropriate these companies. They will literally just nationalize them. When things are bad enough that this is an appropriate solution, that's what they'll do. This is actually not really a problem.
Yeah, no, the solution to this problem is violence. Like, simple.
Yeah, well, no, listen, right? The government will just take them over and run them for us, right? This is literally what happened to, the roads, right? Literally, the roads are a great example of this. Roads didn't used to be made by governments. Now they are made by governments. It's literally, when it becomes civilizationally necessary to do it, they'll just do it. They'll just make it happen.
Yes, they'll send the men with the guns to take away your robots. But the problem is, you're just not going to have this fantastical robot-driven economy in 30 years. Like,
Not with that attitude.
It's simply not going to happen.
And honestly, nothing in the Korean political economy suggests it will. So let's move on to plan 3.
Yeah, well.
Import workers.
Ah,
No, that's a great idea.
yes, that'll fix it.
Certainly hasn't caused problems anywhere else that's been tried.
Now, we've applied this solution in every other country, but Korea will be different.
Yeah, exactly. This time.
Lonely Lenny for $50. Thank you very much, sir. I heard this in another stream, so consult. There was a nightclub reserved for the rich and powerful Korean men. They bought women there and gave them spiked drinks, including water, so they could go to fun. This was a very big secret. It spawned 4B.
Huh.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
No.
Selectively. The Korea Employment Information Service has estimated that Korea will need 900,000 additional workers by 2032 just to maintain a 1.9 to 2.1% growth rate. Currently,
Okay.
Jesus.
900,000 workers. Right, so South Korea population. So how many people are in South Korea? Let's see.
25,000, something like that?
52 million.
Oh, really? Sorry, 52 million. 25 million, I thought. But okay, fair enough. 52 million, right. So, what was that, 2% of the population?
Yeah, in 8 years,
Every year.
about?
Oh, is it 8 years? Right, okay.
Yeah, by 2032.
Right. I mean, good luck. I'm sure they won't be welfare sponges, and I'm sure they'll all work just as hard as Koreans.
Yes, because therein comes the big assumption. Okay, so let's say you can import 1 million people, and they're all hard workers, right? They all do their jobs
German.
perfectly. Yeah, they're all German. No welfare sponges amongst them. Okay, cool. The problem is most of those are already going to have families, which means you're not importing 1 million people. You're importing 3 million people. Best case scenario. And those people are going to have more families as well, because these aren't going to be Germans. So in reality, this number you can pretty much increase by 4 to 5, and you'll get the actual number that this will result in.
Yep.
Currently, Korea has one main visa for low-wage foreign labor. It's called the E9. Think factory workers, agricultural workers, and shipbuilders. They can stay for 3 to 5 years, but have no path to citizenship, and no families are allowed.
Okay.
Why would you do it?
I mean, that's a clever solution, but the question then becomes, why would you do it? Okay, so you can only work a low-paid work. You can only do it for 3 odd years. You have no path to citizenship, and you can't bring anybody in.
The thing is, okay, if it was being paid really well, you could understand. But yeah, 3 years, it'd be boring, so I won't be able to get a wife and have kids. But like, if I was being paid like, 200k a year or something, you'd be like, well, hang on a second, I could come back with a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. If it's low-paid work, why would I want to?
Either. In 2024, Korea had 335,000 workers on this visa and is bringing in another 130,000 in 2025, which sounds like a lot until you do the math. Sure, over
Not
a million
really.
workers may arrive on this visa, but they are all on a clock. They leave when their visa expires. Look,
And if they need 1 million in the next 6 to 8 years, and they're only there for 3 years, yeah, the maths don't math.
So just for comparison, right? During the Boris Johnson government, we were bringing in about 1.5 million people a year, and our population is not declining in the rate that South Korea's is. South Korea's, isn't it something like 0.7 or something fertility rate? As in, it's just the end of their fucking civilization that's happening. How is it something like 1 point? Is it worse? Is it
0.2%?
Fuck. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucking mad. I suppose it have to be. Yeah, ours is something like 1.6. So it's like, okay, not great, not sustainable, over time, but we have got decades before the British population ends up anywhere near South Korea's. And so, like, for us, bringing in, 1 million people a year, like, that's what sounds a lot. This 900,000 over 8 years, that doesn't sound like a lot at all, to be honest.
Korea is one of the most ethnically homogeneous.
Just to be clear, I'm not saying they should do it, obviously.
No.
societies in the developed world, about 95% Korean. According to the 2024 Korea Social Integration Survey from the Korea Institute of Public Administration, 45.9% of Koreans say they accept foreign nationals as members of society.
Okay, you're gonna have to fix that number. It's gonna be downgraded significantly.
Yeah.
Sounds open, but here's the thing. Only 7.2% say they accept migrant workers as actual members of Korean society. And
At least they've got something right.
Yeah, like, oh wow, I can't believe East Asian country is massively racist. Yeah, duh.
consistently shows a strong preference for what Korean scholars call co-ethnic migrants, which is another way of saying foreigners but with Korean ancestry. Of the 2.73 million foreign citizens in Korea today, about 850,000 of them are actually ethnic Koreans.
Okay. Well,
North
at least they
Koreans.
understand that. Now, if they can only learn to have sex...
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Why don't you just have children then, for fuck's sake? Oh, God.
Returning home from China and the post-Soviet states, the immigration Korea is willing to accept is mostly just Koreans coming home. For everyone else, the structure is temporary by design. But to replace a 44% drop in the working age population through immigration alone, Korea would need to admit roughly 15 million foreign workers and their families by 2067.
Yeah. So,
Mental.
again, math don't math.
Yeah, I mean that. Again, it would just literally be the replacement of Korea's population.
And obviously, that will be the end result regardless. Okay, so if you don't fix your birth rates and you just import more people, well, it's not going to be Korea eventually.
Well, I don't know. I quite like the idea of the kind of like empty world scenario where Korea, like Korea is just this empty landscape with these factories that are just continually producing. It's all automated. So raw materials arrive, they're put into the factories, consumer goods are made, and then they're automatically shipped to the docks, they're put on the ships, and then they're sent to the world. And this goes on for decades. And people are like, okay, so AI automates all of the systems. It does all of the communications with the outside world. It takes all the orders. And then one day someone's like, maybe I'll go visit Korea. And finds that there are literally just no one there.
Nobody there.
All of the people just died of old age. Like fucking, it encounters like a couple of old people. It's like, we're literally the last Koreans.
It's just a massive automated shipping hub.
Yeah.
Which would make Korea...
And that's what's being promised with these fucking robot factories.
30% foreign born, and there is no political coalition in Korea today that would accept that. So this plan doesn't work either. Bringing us to plan 4, import the wives.
Okay, well,
But
finally, I'm starting to listen.
Look at that. Korean women are so against the propagation of their own fucking civilization. But no, you're going to have to find a foreign wife. There's no way I'm having a Korean baby. Like, Jesus Christ.
Like, have you seen Korean women? No, let's start importing them. But the problem is this is simply going to be blocked by the female population of the country. There's not going to be any political will to start doing this on the scale you need it to.
Yeah.
Instead, here's
Handmaid's
the problem
Tale.
Korea couldn't solve. Rural Korean single men. The farmers, the fishermen, the men in the counties 2 or 3 hours from Seoul. They haven't been able to find a wife. And that makes a lot of sense because by the 1990s, every young Korean woman in those towns had left for the cities to get better jobs, better dating pools, better lives. And the rural
Stop
men...
employing them.
They all
Stop
wanted the
fucking
K-pop
employing.
star in the city.
Yeah, it's like there's only one option. It's they can't have these jobs. Sorry. You need to have babies. Korea needs to exist by having babies. You need to be that baby person
And that
because
makes
you
a
are
lot of
a
sense to
woman.
solve. Rural Korea...
And the thing is, too, most women don't want these men. That's the thing. This is the dating market in the modern world. Nobody wants the normal guy anymore.
Yep.
And so these guys aren't going to get women because all the women are going to move to Seoul, to the big capital city, where they will inevitably meet their Prince Charming, who doesn't work in the field all day and can put them up in their jet-set lifestyle.
But it is literally that. The companies will employ them. So why would they need the men? It's like, no, the companies need to employ the men, so the women need the men for resources because the men need wives for children, and that's how a civilization functions. And it always has throughout all of human history, and I can't believe we have to fucking explain it.
In the 90s, every young Korean woman in those towns had left for the cities to get better jobs, better dating pools, better lives, and the rural men were left behind. These men stayed because they owned the farm or the boat or the family land. So
And that's the fucking, like, okay, this is the upsetting thing as well. Okay, so these men are actually the lucky ones. These are the ones that were raised by good, strong, powerful families that owned land in a feudal fucking society. And now the women are like, fuck you, we're not gonna procreate. I'm gonna go to the city and find myself a lawyer. I'm gonna join the 2% of the population.
Yeah, good fucking luck with that.
someone figured out at some point that if you can't find Korean wives, you import them instead, from places where the economic gravity runs the other way.
And this has been a common solution in a lot of Western countries as well, importing women from different countries.
Yep.
So they did, from Vietnam, the Philippines, Cambodia, and rural China. The mechanism here...
And you know what, just a quick thing on this. I'm all for it. If women are going to get out-competed by foreign women, then that was silly, and, you know, you've got no one to blame but yourselves.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Like, you don't want the 30-year-old guy who owns a farm? Okay.
Yeah, well, Jesus. Owning a farm is solid, man. You know, I didn't own a farm when I was fucking 30.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Filipino chick out there who will.
Yeah, she's probably thrilled.
Simple. A woman in rural Vietnam has limited prospects.
A woman in rural Vietnam has limited prospects. You don't fucking say.
Hey, man. Good for those Korean lads, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Get in there, boys.
A Korean farmer has land, citizenship, a passport, and money she can send home.
Yeah. And now, okay, one of the problems here is that the money to remit. See, one little bit of a trap is a lot of South Asian women are very family first, and they will put you second. So, you know, be careful of that.
That's all right.
Particularly,
I needed taking care of the kids.
Particularly Vietnamese women are apparently absolute fucking monsters with this. I had a friend who dated a Vietnamese girl, brought them to Norway and everything, a citizenship, and she divorced his ass the moment she could because she wanted to go back home. But she wanted money and passports.
All right. Yeah, we'll be careful about that.
Yeah.
Home. The match is asymmetric, but for both sides, it solves something.
Yeah. Vietnamese woman wants money. Husband wants woman. There you go.
Cost of these wives
South Korean
is
women go extinct.
Yeah.
According to Korea's Ministry of Gender Equality and Family, a wife from Vietnam runs around $12.6 thousand, and from China, about $7,500.
Hang on. What was that? Korea's Ministry of Gender Equality?
Yes, it was.
That's why, folks, that is why the birth rate is dead.
Also, I love that. So a woman from China costs $7,000. Okay.
I can afford that.
And here's the part nobody wants to talk about. Korean rural counties actively subsidize this. As of 2025, over 35 municipalities run cash programs paying men up to $14,500 to marry foreign women. Everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the first ideas that have actually made a certain degree of sense. Okay, so the local women don't want to have children, they don't want relationships, they don't want to get married. All right, well, outcompete them with fucking Filipinas.
And I'm here stuck with a bloody English wife. What am I doing?
That was a terrible idea, correct.
Love you, darling. I'm just teasing. If you ever see this somehow.
Everyone pretends it isn't immigration, but it has been running quietly and successfully for over 30 years. And
okay, so this is a point as well, right? So the immigration argument here, like, why would this immigration be fine? Because it's importing the women. The women are historically an apolitical class. They're not going to go out in the streets and increase the criminality. They're not going to start factionalisms within the country. They're not going to build mosques or argue and champion for their own people to take over local councils. They're simply going to sit at fucking home in their house and be like, wow, I am so happy I'm in a first world country.
But also, women traditionally join the tribe of the husband. That's how it works.
Yes.
The woman goes and joins the foreign tribe, and she literally is married into it and bears children of the man of the tribe.
Yes.
So that is literal integration. It couldn't be more integrated, in fact.
This has been history forever, and it is an
so
obvious
completely
difference. Like nobody thinks for a second that importing a fighting age man and an equal aged woman is the same thing. You'd have to be an idiot.
No.
And is Korea's only sustained mass migration program. It's basically the only thing keeping rural Korea demographically alive. But here's where it gets darker. It turns out rural Korean men who can't find Korean wives or afford Vietnamese or Chinese wives are buying them from North Korea, which I know
Based.
Okay. Yeah, I still don't see the problem.
The purest race.
I mean,
Seriously, Callum was obsessed with North Korea, right? Absolutely obsessed with North Korea. And he would tell me all about them. And they genuinely think of themselves as the pure Han. They literally call themselves the purest race. They despise race mixing. Despise it, right? So obviously, Callum's like, I want to go visit. I'm like, you're going to try and get a wife? He's like, well, no. Because they won't. They won't do that. And they look down on the Chinese for being a race of race mixers, because the Chinese have a completely different philosophy, which is we need to breed with everything. We make everything Han eventually if we breed with it. The North Koreans are the very opposite of that.
yeah, surely bringing a woman from North Korea to South Korea, that isn't darker. Surely that's a bigger benefit, if anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard some bad things about North Korea, can't lie.
Oh yeah, but you've heard bad things about North Korea's government. I mean, like, but the people seem, well,
Exactly.
oppressed, you know.
And
The
so
people are just-
saving one of their women must be a good thing.
You ready to ride
Yeah,
this yellow
yeah,
mare's
100%.
buttery butt?
know is a massive side tangent, and it is actually a whole story on its own, and I just simply couldn't fit this into this video, so instead I wrote it up properly for my newsletter Outpost. If you want to know how that whole thing works and get every source for this video as well, the link will be the first one in the description down below. It's free. But let's talk about the elephant in the room here, the children of these marriages. Because here's the thing, the Koreans call these multicultural children, and they have been documented.
They are.
Yeah, mulattoes, like everybody.
Yeah, because they literally are.
Yeah. Multicultural background, still face discrimination. Yeah, tough.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's Koreans and Filipinos. Like, how different can they possibly be?
Yeah, and like, listen, your civilization is dying. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. At least you've got some lineage here.
Yes.
To face systematic discrimination and bullying in schools. The bullying is severe enough that the ministry funds
From who?
anti-discrimination curriculums. But despite
From
all
what, all
this,
the Korean kids?
And presumably.
That one fucking kid.
It's true. There's one child in the class.
Yeah, she's bullying you for being a mixed race mudblood. You're like, sorry, like, there are at least 10 of us.
Yeah, listen, just gang up on the pure-blooded Korean and beat the shit out of her, I guess.
Yeah.
Just teach him how to fight. Listen, young Hangswol, there's one girl in your class. If she bullies you, just punch her.
You're the only fucking person here.
this
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
remains Korea's most successful immigration policy, which tells you everything you need to know about how successful the others are. 4 plans deployed, hundreds of billions of dollars spent, 20 years of effort, and the fertility rate kept falling from 1.
And the beauty here is, okay, so the only plan that's showing any sign of working is, let me get this straight, importing non-feminist women.
Yeah, importing women who aren't fucking mental.
I mean, I think we've happened upon the solution to the problem right there.
That's literally the only plan that they have.
Yeah, like, this seems to have isolated the issue, so, fix it, I guess?
Yeah.
1.24 in 2015 to 0.72 in 2023, the lowest ever recorded anywhere in peacetime, which makes it even more strange what happened next, because in the following year, in 2024, Korea's fertility rate rose for the first time in 9 years. It did
Oh, okay.
the same in 2025, and then in January 2026, the monthly fertility rate hit 0.99, the highest
Okay, I mean, still not even replacement rate, but okay, something's working.
Yeah.
highest single-month figure in nearly 7 years. 18 consecutive months of year-on-year increases in monthly births. If we look at this isolated, you might be thinking, wait, the plans worked? No, they didn't. Here's why. This rebound is simply a statistical illusion produced by 3 things that have nothing to do with policy. See, Korea had one of the strictest pandemic regimes in the developed world. Weddings were postponed for 2, 3, even 4 years, which is important because in Korean culture, marriage is a near prerequisite for childbirth. Single motherhood is heavily stigmatized and single women cannot legally access IVF. So when the pandemic ended, 2 years of suppressed weddings were released at once. Secondly, births are clustering right now because there is a larger cohort of women in prime childbearing age. This means more total births, even if the per woman rate stays low. Thirdly, marriage migration and immigrant fertility. Some of the rebound is foreign-born women who have higher fertility rates than Korean-born women. But this will stop by the late 2020s, because international marriages peaked in the mid-2010s and have been declining ever since. So
Okay, so not quite as hopeful as it looked, right?
No.
The fucking pandemic. God damn. I cannot wait to see in like 10 years' time what the history books will say about the fucking pandemic. How the entire world panicked. Thought we were all going to get wiped out for well, I can't talk about that on YouTube, I guess. Oh, fucking Christ.
Yeah, how everyone got censored and couldn't even talk about the problem.
Yeah.
So the COVID backlog will clear, and the underlying trend, the rate at which a typical Korean woman in her prime expects to have children, has not budged a single centimeter. But funnily enough, the government is already declaring victory. The official narrative is...
Well, of course. Obviously, because the government is going to be like, listen, we did it. But what about tomorrow? We don't care. Look at this. They're going to try to take credit, obviously.
Yeah, tomorrow is someone else's problem.
Yes.
Is forming around the idea that the plans worked. But let's move on to the next plan. The one you're not really supposed to say out loud. Wait for North Korea to collapse. Look.
I'm sorry to tell you this, buddy, but I think South Korea is going to collapse long before North Korea does.
Yeah, if I had to put my money on it. Like, North Korea might have its problems, but the birth rate isn't one of them.
Yeah, they're already living in a fucking feudal society, okay? They're already subsistence farmers. What do you expect them to collapse to, precisely?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, right, what's really ironic is this is exactly what North Korea's plan for South Korea is.
Yes!
Wait for them to collapse and then just move in and retake it.
Yes, that's literally, like, both sides are looking at the other going, like, any day now.
Yeah, only the South Koreans are fucking delusional.
Yeah, like, God, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. North Korea has 26.4 million people. Their fertility rate is estimated to be around 1.78, well above the South's 0.72. Until the early 2000s, North Korea was a younger, faster-growing society than the South. The age pyramid still bulges in the under 40 brackets in a way the South just doesn't. If the Kim regime falls...
Okay, hang on. Pause there, right? So that is literally... like the North Koreans just be like, we're literally just going to wait you out because in 30 years time, you're all going to be old. We're going to be young and we will just be able to, we won't even need to fire a shot. You won't be in any position to resist us.
Yeah, like, I mean, they're literally heading towards a cultural victory because they can just look down the South and go, okay, I mean, obviously we've got some problems, but look, we have children. You don't.
Yeah, it's literally, we're just going to let you age to death.
And you will welcome us because without us, you won't have anybody to do any labor.
And even if you don't welcome us, who cares? You're going to be ancient. You're going to be a fucking civilization of geriatrics.
North Korea was a younger, faster-growing society than the South. The age pyramid still bulges in the under 40 brackets in a way the South just doesn't. If the Kim regime falls and the Korean Peninsula unifies on Seoul's terms, South Korea inherits 26 million new citizens, most of whom are of working or military age. The demographic crisis would, on paper, be solved.
That's really funny. Like, that's the vampire system. We're hoping that our healthy neighbor collapses so we can drink their blood.
Yes.
Literally, look, we're dying. We just need fresh blood to vampirize, and then we'll be fine. It's like, okay, but what happens when you turn North Korea into South Korea, right? You continue with the same South Korean system that isn't producing children, and the North Korean women are like, oh, right, so I can just move to the city and not get married. Great, I'm going to do that. Now what?
Yes. Oh, God. You seem to be doing well. Please collapse so we may devour your corpse.
But it's not a solution.
It's not a solution, no. At least put it off for a while.
Ministry of Unification still exists. This is why Park Geun-hye in her January 6, 2014 New Year press conference at the Blue House said unification is a jackpot. But
Yeah,
and again, like, North Korea isn't going to go for that. North Korea isn't going to be like, oh, sure, cannibalize us as well, you silly little South Koreans.
Literally, like, this fucking diseased society's like, come and join us. And the North Koreans just like, ooh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, there's a video I watched a few years ago of North Koreans watching K-pop. Holy fuck. Is the sneers on the faces of the North Korean audience the funniest thing in the world? Because North Korean society is, of course, ultra-conservative, obviously, right? And watching these North Koreans, watching these fucking gay-ass fucking K-pop bands jumping around in front of them, like, they look like they are, like, genuinely repulsed by what they're seeing. And so it's like, yeah, come and join our gay dying society, North Korea. And it's like, don't do it, bros. Don't fucking do it. You are going to outlast them.
You are.
the backlash to that statement was instant. South Koreans called her tone deaf about the human cost, so the slogan was quietly retired. But the planning kept.
And also, this is the other thing too. Okay, well, let's say that North Korea just suddenly surrenders and gives up. Okay, that's 26 million people that you're now going to have to raise up to the living standards of South Korea.
Yeah.
You're not going to afford that. That's 26 million people are going to look at you and go like, so, Social Security?
But even if you could afford it, literally all you're going to do is turn the North Koreans into South Koreans and they'll stop reproducing too. It's literally all that's going to happen. What's the fucking point?
Kept going, just behind the scenes. And here's what they found. The South Korean government's own most recent figure puts the integration cost at over $3 trillion.
Yep, there we go.
Dollars across decades, including infrastructure, social welfare, and economic revitalization, which is a lot of money considering South Korea's entire GDP is around 1.7 trillion. But that's just the economic impact. The geopolitical implications are where it gets really
Fuck geopolitical implications, cultural implications. So you're going to take 26 million hyper-conservative Koreans and dump them in the middle of your degenerate society. Fuck, the amount of terrorism you'll have to deal with.
Yeah, I just want to say I stand with the North Koreans on this.
You seem the only sensible side.
Yeah, no, but from a sort of like social perspective, 100%. Holy fuck.
Not to mention, you're now going to have a new voter bloc in your country of 26 million conservatives.
Yeah. Not just no. Look, you're understanding it. 26 million hyper conservatives. Like
Yes.
These people are conservative in a way that you have never fucking seen before, and they're going to be like, okay, we're just going to vote for North Korean dictatorship to oppress you all. In fact, that might be a good idea, actually.
It might be.
tricky, in particular because of the existence of China. China does not want a unified US-allied Korea on its 1,400-kilometer border. China cannot absorb the refugee flow that a collapse would send into Manchuria, and China will not allow North Korea's 40 to 50 nuclear warheads to be secured by an American operation alone. These are the
Don't worry, it's not going to.
Yeah, and secondly, I don't think China actually gives a fuck about that. It's like, oh no, 40 nukes from the 50s. Whoa.
same reasons.
Yeah,
China
I'd be
sent
surprised if they even work.
hundreds of thousands of troops across the Yalu in 1950 when American forces approached the border. These were
Yeah, but that was the 50s, brother. The situation is not quite the same.
Yeah, things have moved on somewhat since then.
strategic logic hasn't changed. So if North Korea collapses, China moves in, which is a problem for the South Korean plan of a demographic windfall, meaning this plan is also not very realistic. So let's discuss the last available plan.
I just think that's so funny. This is a bit of a problem for the South Korean plan of vampirizing and cannibalizing their population. Oh, boo fucking who? Your plan is evil.
First.
Your civilization is demented. The women, for some reason, don't think having children is a part of a woman's life. Like, there's something wrong with the way your people see the world. You are mental.
Plan. Plan 6, and this one is a bit of an extension of the one I mentioned earlier about automation, but it's a bit more serious. Basically, bet everything on exports. This bet is interesting because it accepts that their population will disappear, and they will instead keep the economy running by selling increasingly more of their products to the world. There's just
Okay.
This is the empty civilization of robots.
Yeah, so the plan is die and and
But keep exporting. The robots literally are going to be just the manufacturing hub of the world. Incredible. Fucking incredible plan, Korea.
listen, we're gonna die out as a people, but at least we'll have our pensions. Oh, thank God.
one
literally
kind of big
boomers.
problem with this idea: competition. South Korea
Competition? That's the big... I would think the dying out part would be the problem.
It's so mad. It's so fucking demented. Like, guys, we're dying as a race. The South Korean race will disappear from the earth. And I'm like, yeah, but what's it going to do to our exports? Like, fucking, oh my God.
How will this affect our economy?
Yeah, just fucking demented.
Korea has some behemoth companies like Samsung, SK, Hyundai, and LG. So it does make sense that you would think they could drive all the economic growth necessary. It is an ambitious plan, so let's look at where that plan is right now.
Listen, we must all die so Samsung stocks may continue to rise.
So the Samsung robots can export goods to those countries that still survive. Like,
Fucking Christ, okay.
it's bad.
Very well, that is an ambitious plan.
TSMC, the Taiwanese semiconductor company that everyone is talking about right now, is currently eating Samsung's foundry business at the leading edge, as Samsung is years behind on 2nm yields. Chinese memory makers like YMTC and CXMT have closed the technology gap on Samsung's bread and butter, DRAM, and NAND business faster than analysts predicted. Safe to say, this plan is not going to work for a lot longer.
That's actually a genuine problem that's going to happen in the West as well. Since we're using up all of our fucking PC resources and data centers and other unprofitable shit, eventually China's going to corner basically the personal computer market, and that'll be bad.
Yeah.
So here's where we stand. None of their 6 plans, bribing people, automating, importing workers selectively, tolerating marriage migration, hoping for some external windfall, betting on a handful of national firms, will work. The fact that all 6 are running simultaneously in Korea with none of them coordinated, with all of them failing on their own terms, and with the government quietly preparing to declare...
I mean, that sounds like a
It's so
modern
funny.
government.
Yeah, it does.
victory on a statistical illusion. That is crazy, but it's also the preview. What happens in Korea over the next 5 to 10 years?
But that is such classical fucking government. Okay, we have 6 plans, all of them are costing billions, none of them are working. Keep going.
We've got nothing else to try. It's like, okay. I mean, there is a giant elephant in the room, guys. Do you want to talk about it? No.
Yeah, the problem is, these are all of the solutions that are morally acceptable. And all of the other ones, no.
Yeah, these are all the solutions that liberalism permits.
Yes.
You know, like discrimination between men and women. No, we can't have that.
Can't
But
have
we
that.
can have all of this other nonsense. And it's like, okay, all right, but women have to bear the children, right? It's just like, it just comes down to that. That's a harsh fact of reality. It has to be that way.
Yep. And it's just going to keep getting worse as they spend more and more money. I mean, literally, the only solution at this point is either they figure out how to grow babies in test tubes, and that'll be an
Awful.
interesting thing. Or
Or the Handmaid's Tale.
yeah, or they're gonna have to start making the camps again, I guess.
Yeah, oh, it's literally that of the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Here's is what happens to half the developed world by 2060. The question isn't really whether Korea will survive. Korea will survive. It will just be smaller, older, poorer, and more dependent.
No
on the
guarantee,
lines-
though.
Yeah,
No fucking guarantee.
That's Korea will survive. No, it won't. Like, if it will become consistently older and consistently poorer, it won't live. Well,
And also, if you literally replace the population with foreign workers, then is it Korea anymore?
yes, like this isn't some kind. This isn't like the Earth will live on without humanity. That's true, but this is a country made up by
Yes.
people.
Exactly. On the plus side, though, I am actually really looking forward to the final victory of the North Koreans.
That's true. They'll get what they deserved.
Yeah, no, unironically, good for them.
Says it cannot reciprocate. The question is whether the developed world model survives. Korea is testing whether a wealthy democracy can solve a demographic crisis through policy, and as we've seen, the answer so far is no.
Well, that's the thing. Can they solve it through policy? Yes, but not those policies.
Yeah, that's not true. You could solve it through policy. You're just not trying.
Yeah.
Can liberalism save itself with more liberalism? No, it can't.
The fundamental flaw here is liberalism, and unless you're willing to cast that aside, then no, there aren't any other solutions.
Yeah, it's literally what it boils down to.
That's the lesson here. But here's the thing. South Korea is just one country. While I was researching this video, I kept finding myself pulled out into the bigger picture of this. Why is every single developed country on this same trajectory?
Yep. See, this is, of course, the larger problem. South Korea is basically just our warning sign to the rest of the world.
Yeah. And like what recently happened in South Korea? There was an incel uprising. And the South Korean president went to jail because he didn't have the balls to go through with it, right? You don't fucking paddle in the Rubicon. You literally have to go balls to the wall or not at all. Yeah. And he decided to go not at all. And so, okay, now you're in jail. But this, like, for anyone who doesn't know, and I'm no expert on South Korean politics, but it is a country racked with feminism. Absolutely racked by feminism. As you can see through the birth rates, obviously. And the sort of the manosphere, I guess you could say, is a mainstream ideology there for the men, obviously, who want wives. And okay, if feminism can actually be allowed to just destroy a country, then it will. I mean, we're literally watching it happen in real fucking time.
Yeah, it happily will. And it will somehow be the men's fault when they finally finish it off.
Yeah, and it's just like, guys, you're just going to have to accept that feminism is a destructive force and it's destroying you. You're going to have to revisit the very premises of it. If your women are literally like, yeah, no, we're literally going to let the country die. We'd rather let the country die than have babies. So, okay, well, sorry. I'm not prepared to let the country die, but I am prepared to make you have babies. So,
What happens in the next 10 years when the first pension systems start failing? What will the world look like by 2050 when the developed world drops below 15% of the global population? What about 2080 when the countries we think of as powerful today simply aren't anymore? I had to know, so I ended up writing a full breakdown. The whole Western fertility crisis explained from the ground up, short to medium and long-term futures. What will actually happen to the world? The thing is,
we will be fucked. That will happen to the world.
What? No, not quite. I mean, like, depends what you mean, right? So the people who had children will return to a more primitive way of life, pre-liberal way of life. Feudalism will return. Technology may well not necessarily go backwards, but stagnate in these countries. And the mistakes that led to this point will be stigmatized. And we're like, right, no, this was the problem. This was the reason all of this collapsed. And then we go back to life as it was for many, many thousands of years before the liberal experiment.
And so we begin all over again, at least for a while.
Unironically, it'll end up looking like North Korea.
Well, North Korea seems to be the winner in the South and North divide, so...
In the demographic war that South Korea is waging, yeah.
Well, that's pretty much the whole video, so let's do the Super Chats.
Honestly, I enjoyed that video.
Yes. I mean, I was curious to see, like, okay, what are the solutions? Are there any? No.
No. No, God, no. Solutions not for us, please. Nope. No solutions, thank you. We're Korean.
Freyna, on quick kick. Thank you for your donation, sir. Sargon, your article for childbirth medals was in Mongolia.
Ah, that was Mongolia, was it? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I couldn't remember where it was.
Ziloxon. South Korea is going to have to actually enslave the women and put them in breeding camps, unironically. Yes, unironically.
I mean, it probably doesn't have to go that far in reality. In reality, what they'll have to do is just essentially forbid women from having certain jobs.
And Marksman, Sargon, you aren't entirely right about South Korea's collapse. I saw a video about Korean talking to the people and a core is the culture. Hyper-competitive that doesn't mix well with communal family structure. Then add leftism, they've poisoned themselves.
Yeah. Or more accurately, we've poisoned them. This is our fucking culture they've imported, and it's destroying them.
Yep. Beskar Armor. Serious law question. Is the whole Imperium having control over 1 million worlds true, or just more propaganda? Well, we don't know, but probably, yes.
It's probably true. There's no reason to think it's propaganda.
Yes, the galaxy is quite large.
Yeah.
Stephen Knizek, isn't Starchild the 40k Space Jesus? We still don't know what the fuck the Starchild is, other than some form of plot device. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Trick or treat. Can I smell you?
No matter what, it probably won't be satisfying.
Yeah, no, whatever it is, GW will fuck it up, but...
Definitely not a Frenchman, says Ree Howard's writing style is very poetic and flowed. No modern writers can write like him. There's a lack of respect and reverence. That's true.
Yeah, totally true. This is why I was saying, you can tell the two voices. Like, the old style 40k had much more lyrical and rich tone to it. Modern 40k just does not have it and cannot capture it. And it's because it's just Reddit-brained atheists writing it now.
Alex Adamson. I'd like to point out 40k novels don't take place in the worst war zones. The average world Imperium is as pleasant to live on as current Earth. Well, not quite that nice, but it's nowhere near as bad as it is often made out to be.
No.
Nolly, greetings,
And
Archway.
that, just a quick thing on that, right? That's the thing that annoys me about this sort of like the kind of like recycled. It's like the human centipede of lore, right? Where it's just like, oh yeah, I've extracted the nutrients from it now, and now I'm just pumping the shit out again for someone else to consume. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's not fucking helpful. You know, it's like everyone knows like that you guys are not creative and do not really understand or appreciate the game. We all know, we can see it. So, you know, you can knock it off now, please.
The 1 minute TikTok lore video syndrome, yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's grim dark, guys. Yeah, it's more than that, though. It's not just grim dark. There's way more to it than that.
Nolly, greetings, Archley and Sagaroodle. Marshall Beaumont stream on this video at 14:20 has an interesting take on speech in the video. Thoughts?
I haven't seen it.
I mean,
Do you want to put it up? Yeah,
I don't even know where it is. Steam on this video? On this video? What?
Did someone not send the video?
No, I don't see anything at least. Simulation, on a nicer note, can I offer the video The Theology of Warhammer 40k? It's a 2-hour no. No.
Not for this stream, anyway.
No. GPS Sargon, have you watched Dr. Vanderbekam's Bath? It's 41 minutes long with a 1 minute long outro. If not, it's worth a Stamford and React. And you keep insisting you love Mike's video, so why not?
I do love Mike's videos. I haven't seen it, no.
And 41 minutes. Listen, boys, we can barely get through 18.
Yeah, I don't watch that many videos anymore, to be honest. And it's not that I don't want to, I just don't have time.
Counter-structure, 3.menu has speed settings. I know, I've already got this as at 1.25, and it still took us an hour 30 minutes to get through 18 minutes. We are both, unfortunately, very verbose creatures.
Yeah, we got a lot to say, sorry.
Fat Leon, which new faction would you guys add? I'd add the Bug Hesse, but I'm afraid they'll reveal that the missing Primarchs were girls, or like it.
I don't know.
There's a species whose name I constantly forget. It's like Quirtle something idiotic. they're an entire species of basically space fly monster insects that eat people, and they're supposedly one of the largest empires in the galaxy, but they're never mentioned anymore. So they were probably something GW were planning on launching at some point, but then they made the Tau and they became incredibly unpopular, and GW was like, we're never going to do that ever again.
Yeah, I can't even think of any major factions, to be honest. But I'm not a lore guy, so I wouldn't. Don't come to me for that.
Definitely not a Frenchman. Art, Sargon, what is your favorite Conan story? Mine is The Slitting Shadow and Rogues in the House. Both talk about the cycle of civilization.
I haven't actually read that many Conan stories, but I do enjoy his origin story, where he's the slave pushing the mill or whatever. I did enjoy that.
I don't remember what the name of it is. I think it's Black Coast or Dark Coast. That's my favorite Conan story arc because it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's a self-contained story, and far too often I find that Conan stories are either way too fucking short because they were originally written as short stories, or they kind of just peter out and disappear, and then Conan magically reappears somewhere else later.
I did read one a while ago about Serpent Cult. That was quite fun. I can't remember what happened in it now.
Animatacumen. They referenced everything back to the Christian God because it is so entrenched in Western culture at this point. If you ask any of those same people to talk about paganism, none of them could.
I have a funny feeling that they wanted to essentially denigrate the Emperor. I really feel they were trying to denigrate the Emperor, but accidentally made him really noble and decent.
I think there's a war going on within GW right now about the perception of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Because the Horus Heresy continued to try and deconstruct the Emperor.
Yeah.
Freyna on Kick, thank you very much. Feminism is the ultimate male shit test. Homeworld.
Yeah.
And we have so far been failing miserably.
Korea is failing miserably. Like we've not done that badly, all things considered, to be honest. Norway seems to be doing worse, frankly.
Quick thoughts on the bricks and minifigures versus Ben Lego scandal. I know nothing about it. I have been asked about it so many times. I still know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid.
Chat, if you can find like a decent 20 minutes, half an hour tops video breaking it down for us, send it over and we'll watch that next week because it's apparently very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know anything about what you've just said. I don't recognize any of the words or anything like that, so.
Collinson, Arch and Sargon, do you ever become exhausted from hearing talking about US news? As an American, I like hearing your outside takes on how Europe is doing.
No, I don't mind it.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, and we've been doing other news too. We've been kicking Germany whilst it's down now for a while.
Yeah, I love it. A lot's been happening in Britain at the moment as well.
It's also simply the fact that America remains the world hegemon, even if its position is creaking somewhat. And so American news are very important for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's totally true.
Blackhair, do you know of the Dirt Eater mask? Search it. Yes, I know actually. It's to prevent the slaves from eating dirt. I've seen that. Diswiz, Return of Primarchs 2 and 11. She and they will be back.
I tell you, man. I swear to God, if they trans one of the Primarchs...
Can I smell your feet?
Sooner or later.
You know they want to.
They want to.
No, they want to.
Matt Stonk, I was in Korea for the holidays this winter. Nephew's elementary has no incoming class. They expect to close in 5 years.
Fucking hell. That's just so mad.
It is. It's crazy. Mr. Frenzy, a trans Primarch. I'm just glad neither Ferris or Sanguinius are allowed to see this rot fester. You maternal fund.
To be fair, I actually don't think they will put a trans Primarch in. But you know they want to.
Yeah, GW's corruption probably happened too late for them to go full ham, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think they'll do it, but they want to do it.
The 40K Amazon TV show is going to be the big litmus test for this.
Is that still going?
Yes, as far as we know.
Right, okay. Okay, well, fair enough. I honestly, I thought they'd given up on it.
The Inner Circle for another 1,000 idders. Many South Korean problems is uniquely tied to the Shables, and how it was set up, because they are also the reason for SK miraculous economic growth. No one's interested in even attempting to untangle that mess.
I don't know what that is.
Shables. I'm guessing that maybe like that's the Sky thing, institution, and all the big corporations.
I guess it must be, yeah.
Thank you very much for your second massive donation. Thank you very much.
Blimey. What did we do to get so popular today?
Who knows?
Yeah, I won't question it, I suppose.
Mr. Rich Lopech, any videos I can look up describing how modern revolution and the nationalist counterswing works? Trying to work out what's going and how to respond.
You know what, right? Mike Duncan, from History of Rome fame, as much of a woke shitlib as he is, did an incredible series called Revolutions. It's a podcast, but it's really, really good. It turned into a gargantuan shitlib during the woke SJW era. So, as much as I hate to have to promote an enemy, he did do great work with the History of Rome podcast. I absolutely loved it. And that series is amazing. So, that's my recommendation.
I don't know a whole lot of series myself either. Maybe I'll have to make one, because I've been looking into it more recently, and it is remarkable how the pattern plays out precisely the same again and again and again.
Yeah. It's literally identical.
Yes. And what you begin to realize, too, is that during the French Revolution, you had the most progressive population imaginable. They were on board with and willing to do everything the revolutionaries were asking. Year zero, different calendars, the altars of peace, all of that. They wanted to go full progressive, and it ended terribly.
I mean, they literally had like a festival to the goddess Reason, which was cringe.
Yes.
It's like they redistricted France into numerical districts.
Yep.
Like it's actually mad how like full woke they went. It's like completely woke.
Yes. And within like 3 to 4 years, everyone was sick of it because it was a complete disaster. So the point is, even if the progressives get everything they ever wanted, it's just gonna end really poorly.
It's always terrible when they get. It's
always terrible.
Yeah.
Mad Stork, seen this video, it gets a few things wrong, but it's mostly right. Immigration is already a hot issue with protests. They are about 5 years behind Japan.
Well, base Japanese.
Another document simply says breeding camps. We are probably honestly going to get lotteries where people will be sent to breeding camps.
Yeah, honestly, it will be something like The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
And the feminists are like, oh, this will be the dystopia. It's like, yeah, but you're going to make it happen.
Spiky on Streamlabs, thank you for your donation. The cancellation of the renewal of Stargate because they didn't like the original audience doesn't really bode well for Amazon 40K show. Okay, so, Listen, the Stargate cancellation was the best thing that could have happened to you because Amazon doesn't want the Stargate audience. They don't. And the 40K thing too, by the way, they're not going to want the 40K audience. They're going to want the wider audience.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that, which is basically why the only reason anybody's even mildly excited for it is they're hoping against hope that somehow Henry Cavill will hold the line. And
he won't be able to. He won't be able to.
As much as I want that to be the case, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't.
So the Stargate show, yeah, no, you got lucky. It doesn't feel like it right now. I know. Everybody was like, we wanted to return to our favorite setting.
No, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Just go rewatch Stargate.
Rewatch Stargate, hunker down, wait another at least 10 years, and maybe we will be in a political and cultural situation where it might work, but we're not there now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
MJ Bull, South Korea is likely already beyond the point of no return for demographic collapse. It's on the Green Mile. I mean, yeah, like, they're literally going to have to foster generations with like 4 to 5 children per woman consistently for decades to even have a chance. Like, it's not gonna
I
happen.
don't see how it can be done.
Not without force. Like, seriously, not without force.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that there isn't the political will. And by the time there is the political will, there isn't going to be enough people to enforce it.
Mm-hmm. But, like, unironically, it doesn't even... the actual solution doesn't have to be that intrusive. It is literally barring women from certain professions.
Sinestro, on the one hand, the population collapse is devastating. On the other, those kids will have amazing salaries if the government doesn't flood the place with foreigners.
It will flood the place with foreigners.
And even if they have amazing salaries, inflation and the rising cost of living will take care of that. Don't worry.
Yep.
See, there was a fascinating phenomenon that's been going on in Germany recently, too. So, back in the olden days, of course, people would save money with the aims of starting a family and buying a house and buying a car and all of this stuff, right? More and more often, the young people in the first world don't do that. They don't save money because they've pretty much just come to the conclusion that they'll never afford these things anyway. Why start saving money for a house if you'll never get one? Why not just agree to be a forever renter, basically?
But this is why the workplace was geared towards men, right? It was geared towards men being the breadwinner because the man is going to spend money on other people. He's not just going to spend it on himself. He's going to spend it on his wife and kids and buying a house and buying a car and making sure they've got all the things they need. And so letting this man be a high earner was good for a large number of people. Whereas now you've got like twice as many people in the workforce competing for the same sort of well-paid jobs who are only intent on spending on themselves. And it's like, look, that's demented. That's not good, you know?
Uh-huh. Definitely not a Frenchman. This is why cults are common in Korea. Are they?
Oh. Well, yeah. The prime ministership was controlled by a female cult.
Oh,
and
okay.
The prime minister went to jail. The former female prime minister went to jail. Google it. South Korea female prime minister cult, something like that, and you'll find it. I tell you, South Korea is a bonkers place, man.
Taratine, Arch, have you heard they are making a new Ice Age movie? They are rarely strapped for money, it looks like. I thought they ended that series.
Ice Age was always really popular as well, so I can see why they would make another movie of it because it's gonna do well.
Don't mind, I guess. So, Target the White. The Koreans are gambling using their children, aren't we all?
Yeah, that's true.
Dizwiz, US 98% live as subcontractors of Samsungs and Elites. That's pretty bad. Napoleon, Korea shuts down on exam day. Even airports, the police literally consider being late to an exam an emergency that requires police escort with sirens. Well, at least they take their education seriously, I guess.
Yeah, but look at where it's got them. Where 2% of the country are in control of everything and 98% don't have a future. Like, is education actually that important if that's what it does to you?
It's true. Dreadnought Logan, all right, labs, we all know how to fix this mess. It's going to take a lot of sweat and dinner dates, but if I have to marry a pretty woman, poor me.
Yeah, but the thing is, a Korean woman is clearly not like a normal woman.
Definitely not a Frenchman. Korea, after the war, only put 5 companies in charge, so the government can pour resources into them to build up the country. 5 to watch instead of 25.
Right. That explains it.
Bass player Killdozer was 22 years ago today.
Wow. My hero.
Subo
I
Kaji,
know, not even being sarcastic there, by the way.
earning a living is only half the problem. A plumber can earn a living, but he will always be a dirty untouchable in the eyes of prospective mates. That's true. You do need status as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, in the West, like being a hardworking man who actually, supported himself and could support a family brought status. If that doesn't, like being a farmer, having a farm is actually a fairly high status job now. Like farms require really expensive equipment. Like you can't be poor to be a farmer anymore. Like, it just doesn't work. So like it's not the low status job it used to be. Like Jeremy Clarkson is a great example of this with Clarkson's farm. Like you see exactly what it is to own a farm. It's like, wow, I don't have all that.
The Joffy Korea prides itself as being the closest to the ideal of a Confucian state. Also look up the bone rank system they used in their history. I don't know anything about that.
No, I don't.
Beskar Armor, one fix when it comes to the fams in the West is to remove no-fault divorce. Men need their balls back if you want to see more kids.
Yeah, totally true.
Carson Casimir, so I guess Rhodesia really was a microcosm of what it was in store for a civilized world.
Oh no, Rhodesia was something a bit different, I'd say. Rhodesia was just absolute betrayal by the British government.
Well, it was sacrificed on the altar of liberalism. It was not liberal enough, and therefore it must die.
Yeah, unironically.
Adam Acumen, I feel like some think tanks in government looked at Star Wars, Night of the Old Republic, and the Undercity Quest for Paradise, and thought the society where no one has to work and ran by machines was brilliant. Let's fund it. Yeah, and I don't think we'll be happy either. Like, even if you don't work, if nobody works, I don't think that'll bring happiness. I think people will just become aimless.
Yeah, and they'll just become drug addicts.
Yeah.
But also, like this isn't actually a new fantasy, right? In Kropotkin, he speculates that in the future machines will do all the work and people won't need to work, and that's like 1890s.
Kimura Q married a Korean. Korea is pure cyberpunk. Everything in life is about chaebols or trying to get into chaebols. Family doesn't matter, status does. That is unfortunate.
It's genuinely sad.
Tanushi, on Bernie's AI nationalization idea, socialists seem to think companies hold all their value in liquid cash that can be immediately redistributed. Yes.
Yes, that's because socialists are fucking retarded. They all, literally, to a man and woman of them, think that companies are literally vaults of gold.
Yes, they have no conceptualization of wealth. I saw a woman the other day on Twitter going like, if I was Elon Musk and I had hundreds of billions of dollars, I'd solve all the problems of the world. Hunger would be done. Homelessness would be over. It's like, you understand that there are governments that have revenues in trillions of dollars who can't do this.
No, she doesn't. She does not. She doesn't understand that the wealth valuation is not money.
No.
She literally does not understand.
And they don't understand how much things cost. And I get this to an extent as well. There's a lot of people that, it's unfathomable for you or I to understand what $1 billion truly is.
Yeah.
But compared to the cost of a public health system, it's a fucking rounding error.
Yeah. Literally, I mean, just for anyone wondering, the NHS is something like £230 billion a year.
Yes.
So that's nearly it's more than £500 million a day on the NHS. It's fucking mad, absolutely mad.
Yes, it is such an unimaginable quantity of money that even if you took all of Elon Musk's cash and you transferred all of it into liquid cash, you'd be able to run like the NHS for what, like 4 years, maybe, if you're lucky.
How much is Elon Musk worth?
Elon Musk. Worth. Let's see. Oh, to 834 billion. So he'd run the NHS for about 3 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Yeah.
And that's if you liquidated everything.
Yes, and unemployed, like, I don't even know how many tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, exactly. Like they say, oh, Elon Musk's got all this money. It's like, no, he has all these employees.
Yes.
He employs tens of thousands of people.
Counterstructure. One extra spicy solar flare later, and our civilization became sad.
Yeah. I'm you know what? I'm kind of in favor of returning to the Earth at this point.
Benjamin doing a course in writing, and one of the people's sour name is Izat. Not a conspiracy nut, but I feel like some things are happening, and I don't like it.
I love how Izat has become a meme, and how people are, like how it's seeping into the culture now. Because it's like, no, we have to understand these people. We have to understand these people.
Mm-hmm. Mana Yord Sushai. The fact that North Koreans have a higher birth rate than their cousins in the South speaks to something about their system. Communism kills the body, but liberalism rots the soul.
Ignorance a lot.
Well, yes, and the thing is too, what you gotta understand is it's actually not particularly expensive to raise a child if all you need to do is keep the damn thing alive. The problem is, being merely alive is not the goal in modern civilization. Affluence is the goal. That child needs to have 3 meals a day, it needs to have toys, it needs to go to the best schools, it needs to go to the doctor, etc., etc., etc. And so poor societies can have a lot more children than rich ones.
Yeah. And also, like, once you've had one child, having more children is easier, way easier, and it's actually really normal. In fact, and it's still happening now, right? The issue is that women, there's a cohort of women in our civilization who just are not having children. When women have a child, they're really, really likely to have like 2 or 3. It's just that lots of them are just having 0, so they never get on that sort of ladder.
B Prince. There's an anime movie where a corpo takes over Japan, puts it behind an iron curtain so they can use a nanomachine virus to serverize the entire population to work in automated gigafactories. Sounds like the future. Sounds like the Korean Plan 4.
Sounds like progress.
Dizwiz, not robots, but illegal immigrants taking low-skilled jobs paid under the table. Fines are cheaper. Unions are left-wing. Parties block robot adaptation. Yes, that's a big problem in America. There's a lot of unions blocking automation, which really is just eating themselves in the long run. But oh well.
Yeah.
Cousin Casimir
but
is the reason.
You can understand why they do it, though. To be honest.
Oh yeah, it's obvious short-term gains. Like I don't want to lose my job today. And so I'm not going to care about the fact that I might lose my job tomorrow. Cousin Casimir is the reason why liberals can't write things like superheroes or 40k, because it's a system that institutionally limits the simultaneous accumulation of authority, autonomy, and agency.
Also, they actually despise the virtues that make superheroes better than others. Like the fundamental crux of liberalism is egalitarianism, and there's nothing egalitarian about superheroes.
No, and that's also kind of one of the problems there as well, because when you're talking about things like authority, for example, a superhero has authority, obviously, but he's not supposed to relish it. He's not supposed to want it or have it. It's something like Superman has obvious authority, but he's never supposed to use it or misuse it. That's kind of the point. And that's not something that progressives are very fond of, which is why they continuously put the superheroes in political positions, like in parades or holding up signs, etc.
Mhm.
Diswiz, lol, North Koreans, this guy making shit up. Yep, no, I don't think the North Koreans are going to lose.
Yeah, I just don't see how they can lose. That's the thing. Like, they can literally just wait out South Korea. You don't need to do anything.
Yep, if this is a breeding competition, and it appears to be, then...
Yeah, exactly. It's literally a breeding competition. And the other side is refusing to engage in it.
Oliver Nord to know about China being race mixers, at least not the CCP. They seem to try to push for Han Chinese ethnicity ascendance whenever they can, no?
Yeah, they do, but they do it by literally race mixing the opponents out of existence. You can see the spread of the Han Chinese, and it's because for centuries, the Chinese have had a policy of essentially forcing the people they don't like to have Chinese wives. And they're doing this with the Uyghurs at the moment. The Uyghur men are being kidnapped and sent to these camps, and the Uyghur women are getting Chinese men placed in their homes by the Chinese government.
Tanushi, Korea plans on being a nation of CEOs and bureaucrats. Oh, and then YouTube did the scrolly thing that it likes to do. Plan on being a nation of CEOs and bureaucrats. The elite attitude of the upper classes will be their undoing unless they have slavery. Yes. The feudalist system works in very specific ways.
Well, I mean, Korea did have slavery for hundreds of years, didn't it?
Oh, yes.
So, like, you know, it's not too much of a surprise that that's all they know.
Furikazan. Compared to German reunification in 1989, West Germany is ranked 3rd by GDP and East Germany was still 17th, even though they were commies. In 2025, South Korea was ranked 12th and North Korea is ranked 130th. Yes. The need to make up for the disparity between the two is going to be costly. Sean King. The thing is,
Sean
more
King?
women... Yeah, Sean King.
Not the Sean King.
I presume not the Sean King. The thing is, more women will equal more competition for relationships, which will lead to women having to lower their dating standards. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, most of society's ills could be fixed by having there be 75% more women.
Well, I mean, it's really about the incentives, isn't it? I mean, like if you literally incentivize women to not get married and have children and instead work for corporations, then you're going to get that and only that.
Frog Jupiter, until the 90s, the only different politically between North Korea and South Korea was Cold War alliance and property rights. Even re-education camps, even today, they have digital ID. Noble, make one Tim 212 into a law. I don't know what that is.
I assume it's from the Bible.
Presumably. Sujard, 1 million worlds is honestly not that many for the galaxy. There should be hundreds of millions of planets. Did they vanish in the war in the heaven? Either that or GW simply got their numbers wrong, which happens frequently.
Which you could believe, yeah.
Mr. Twisted Frenzy, you said the revolution has already happened, and what's going on now is a reactionary national backlash. Historically speaking, how successful with these national backlashes are the odds in our favor? So far...
That's some bad news.
Well, actually... The nationalist backlash has never failed up until this point.
Well, the Thermidorian reaction failed, and the White Army failed in Russia, and the Cuban Bay of Pigs failed. It does fail quite often, actually, as far as I can tell.
These are short-term setbacks. Russia eventually, of course, fell. The Soviet Union fell.
Okay. Eventually, communism falls. I agree.
Correct.
But that's what 60 years? No, it was about 80 years or something, wasn't it? That 1917 to 1989. So yes, 70 years.
Oh yeah, sure, you're going to suffer for a long time, but communism will always fail, and so nationalism will always win. Eventually.
But that's not what he's asking. He's asking during the revolution, and in fact Mao with the nationalists, in fact, during the revolution, do the nationalists beat the communists? And the answer is actually no. It's only after the failure of communism do the nationalists win.
Taiwan will win. It's just a long-term question.
Faith. I've got faith too. But the point is, no, in the revolution, the nationalists always lose. And I think it's generally because the nationalists are just not nearly as well organized as the communists.
Well, during the revolution, yes, because the nationalists don't know they're fighting. This is also near universal. We had no idea what was going on. The French right wing had virtually no idea what was going on during the revolution. The white Russians had no idea what was going on. They were like, but we're fighting the Germans. Can't you calm the fuck down? No.
Yeah. No, we're not. We're fighting you.
Basically, the right wing doesn't know it's fighting. The national rise against it is almost always a reaction directly to the revolutionaries.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The right isn't. I mean, this is so true in our revolution right now. The right just didn't know it was engaged in a revolutionary war. Mm-hmm. It's like, sorry, bros, we're engaged. I didn't know either. Like, I had no idea. But we've worked this out now. We are engaged in a revolutionary war, so we have to win for once. I'm sick of the nationalists always losing the revolutionary wars.
So, John, I relish arguing with 40k tourists by blaming the Imperium state in 40k as solely because of Erda's woman moment and scattering the Primarchs. They can't argue against it at all. That's because it's true. Erda deciding to scatter the Primarchs for nothing but a hissy fit was pretty much the source of all evil.
Yeah, there we go.
Simulation. I would like to put this plus prior plus the 5 that you missed from last Stamford Bridge to Neural from Arch Knights. I will to it. Okay, Bud. Project Zanu rethink as subject. Everyone should watch him.
I have lost.
What's that, sir?
Project Zanu. That's the guy, I think.
Right,
the African guy.
Right. Oh, no, I've never heard of it.
Alex Anderson. By the way, War Games Atlantic released their The Damned range. We have actual Blood Pact models now. Also, did you see the new Cyphers Kane model? I think I did, but my brain doesn't necessarily fetch this information in this instance.
Sorry, I was just hoovering something up. No, I don't recall seeing it.
Nolly. Sorry, Arch. Context. On Marshall Bowman's channel, he gave his take on the speech in the No Peace Warhammer trailer at 4820. What's your take on it? And yes, it's only 2 minutes of the video, not all of it.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button again. Sorry, I was putting flock on a hill while we were talking, and I had to just hoover up some of the flock.
As happens.
Yeah. The hill's looking quite nice, though.
Nortram, my bet is that Amazon will wait out Henry Cavill until his contract expires, then replace him with a willing yes man. Henry's a stickler for lore accuracy, and he's a nightmare for the studios.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Might happen. Or
Probably,
if it's a success, then they're just going to take over thereafter and then toss him out.
Either one is likely.
Fat Leon, hate to say it, but be ready for your version of Yugoslavia. As a Bosnian Serb, this is all just deja vu for me. Prepare for the worst.
Thanks, bro.
Can structure. Use prestige. New child gives entry to elite university.
Yeah. That's literally, it's got to be about prestige. It's the only way it's going to work.
Maranga 2. I'm now going to make you jealous of a third world country. The foreign-born population of Paraguay is 2%, and taxes are capped at 10%. That is nice.
That sounds amazing.
Gareth Thomas. I'm not trying to sound contrarian, but I do think South Korea can find their way out of this problem, but it's going to be a bitch in the long run. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic.
I mean, the premises upon which the South Korean state rests would have to change radically, and I just don't see it happening.
Carson Casimir, rewatching Stargate 1 a while ago, debating buying a P90. Why debating? Adam Ackerman, which is why we have a good chance when we are actually aware we are under attack. Yes, unless we've already lost by the time we realize it, which is exactly what happened during Gamergate. Mr. Twisted Frenzy, Sargon, what was the name of that stream you said you were on? I plan to watch the WOD after this stream. Doom Eternal Fund.
It's called Grim Dark Enlightenment. You can find it on Twitter. Grim Dark Enlightenment.
Grim Dark Enlightenment. And with that chat, we are once again at an end of another episode of Stamford Bridge. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for your generous donations, as always, chat. And thank you, Sargon, for hanging out with me today.
It was a pleasure.
And we will see you all again very soon, chat. Till then, have a good night.